hurt.
Blowjobs are a no for me.
It is a skill. It is a practice skill. It is a necessary skill.
Ooh, great blowjob.
Secret to a great blowjob is saliva, saliva, saliva.
It's important for us to learn from this because I think we lose because we beat ourselves.
You need to swallow it too.
I understand the problem here.
The people don't understand esophagus is the main player of the game.
Try to stay away from it as much as I can.
You can start by licking the tip.
I didn't understand it, but
Patrick Agyemang to Bambi or a newborn giraffe or what?
All right, welcome to Straight Red Card and the new intro. Oh boy, that one's going to stick around a little bit. I think I can't wait for Max to see it. I haven't told Max about it yet that we used him in the new intro. I don't know if he's going to appreciate it that much, but I guess he'll have to get over it. I mean, we got over it.
I don't think I'll have a problem with it.
I guarantee you he laughs. I guarantee he laughs. All right. Which aside, go ahead.
I was gonna say you're probably gonna be able to tell something with my voice. I'm still dealing with this whole sinus respiratory garbage. I woke up this morning and my face just felt like it was exploding with pressure. Jesus. So I called in today and I'm feeling better now, but my voice is still fucked. I still have sinus issues, man. Up here.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun.
We need to turn up your bass or something.
Yeah.
You've turned into
welcome to the Straight Red Card.
Instead of Kermit, you sound more like Kermit's younger brother.
Chad says, quit being a little bitch.
Bitch. All right, welcome to the show. Yeah, we're here for the live watch along. Let's hope it's a good one. Hey, same lineup as usual. So, hey, nothing much to talk there. At least we know. Just last time we weren't sure with the same lineup what everybody's role was going to be. Well, now we know. It's going to be probably the exact same.
I guess before we get into that, because I'll pull up the formation that you sent. Let's cover a couple quick pieces of fluff here.
Oh, okay. We got some fluff. Straight up.
Aaron wants to know, why is my cock darker than the rest of my skin? Is there a natural explanation for that?
In fact, there is, Aaron. In fact, there is.
After got a doc in the chat, man, he can tell us too.
Probably can, but since I just got done teaching biology, I can let him know that it's just natural for the most part. It's melanin. Sometimes there is some normal variation on the body from place to place on the body. It also could be caused by hormones or an increased blood flow to that particular area of the body. It's nothing that unusual. You really don't have much to worry about.
I just assumed Aaron was wiping back to front.
Oh, God. Disgusting. That would be bad if that's what you're doing, Aaron. That could be an issue. Otherwise, it's completely natural. Also, as you get older, your penis can get darker and it can shrivel up more. It happens. All right.
We got a couple suggestions here for my sinus issues. Eat spicy peppers. That'll clear it up. Bo and sriracha.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. But then you'd just be leaking all over the place while we're having the show.
Yeah, definitely not good to do right now. So
right. So if Brett sounds weird to you, Jesse, because he's sick. He's sick.
Yeah. I always like how deep my voice can get sometimes when this happens.
Right. Untouchables brings up a good point. Also, if you are snipped, that can cause discoloration in the area that was folded. And so that can change that particular part. But if your whole cock is darker, like the whole thing, it's probably just melanin, and you're going to be fine. All right. But thanks for the question, Aaron. What else we got?
I'm officially 1/8 black. What the hell?
1/8. So you're missing the girth and length then, huh? Because
some of the rest of me here too.
Okay. All right. What else we got?
You had a nice little interaction with Stu Olden, apparently.
Oh, I did. Yeah. You know, it's always nice to hear when a guy who you said when you listen to him, you want to stick an ice pick in your head,
Yeah.
still will go back and he knows exactly who I am and who said it, and he knows. Okay.
Yep.
He totally knows who I am. And so he was still cool enough to let bygones be gone. He's not holding it against me. He still talks to me, which is, I think, nice. And I told him, hey, maybe it's not too late to, you know, since we see eye to eye on this, to we'll get along from here on out. And I apologize for the stray, but he was laughing at it too.
Yeah.
So good to know that he has a sense of humor about it. And I used the old, it got better, you know.
It got better. Yeah. John says Brett sounds 10 times more manlier with the sick voice. It's true.
Huh, interesting.
Josh Sargent is so good. He was insulted being left off this team. That's why you got brought back in here, Untouchables. Comments like that.
Well, you know, don't let our good friend get in here that was
Sexy.
going nuts all day
That
about
sounds hot.
how crappy Sargent is, and he doesn't ever deserve. So anyhow, Sargent's not even a discussion I think we need to really have much more, because we've done it here already. And
I got Sargent in one of these tabs right here.
All right, well, hopefully he goes to a good club team. That's what we're all hoping. Hopefully it's Wolfsburg or something like that. The Bundesliga.
Oh, that's totally.
We were the
Transfer news. Who's getting mounted on transfer news? Who's getting over on transfer news? Transfer news. Everyone loves that transfer news, but me. Whatever.
By the way,
Spoiling it.
Did you see that this kid, 15-year-old kid, Derek Ritchie's being tracked?
I wouldn't pull it up, but we ran out of time. Yes, if you want, let's go ahead and talk about this transfer news, and I'll pull up your news.
Okay, so
or Derek news. Let me rephrase that.
So the rumors are, and this would be a really good move for Josh Sargent if he went to Wolfsburg. So are we going to stop watching Josh Sargent because we don't think Poach will ever pick him again? No, I'm still going to watch his games, and I'm still going to follow him and see how he does there in Wolfsburg. You know, because that's what I do on the weekends. I watch soccer all weekend long. And, you know, I still hope that maybe after Poach is gone, he can turn into a wise, confident sort of striker that is another option for us. So other than that, you know, I think going on and on about him playing on the U.S. men's national team, first of all, there's nothing we can do about it at this point. And B, a lot of people don't think he's earned it. And C, there's no point in discussing it.
I don't. The argument that he hasn't earned it, because obviously most people are going to be using the goal difference or the lack of goal scoring production.
Yeah, I
as
know.
a thing. Like, oh, let's move on. I'm like, well, he's still fucking playing in the top league. Wherever he goes, he's still going to be playing either Bundesliga, Serie A, or EPL.
Yeah.
If he's performing, you're a moron if you don't include him somehow. Even as a third striker behind Bala if he's healthy, and Pepe when Pepe is getting healthier. He's training with PSV right now.
So Chris Gary Derek saying it is a moot point. I think it is until we see any evidence otherwise.
I agree.
Let's be really clear what Poach said.
No, Derek is saying it's a mute point.
No, it's moot. M-O-O-T.
I don't know.
Yeah. I was helping him out. I knew what he meant, right? Okay.
No, I think Chris Gary is quoting something because this is from something before. Chris, tell me. Chris knew it's moot, but I'm pretty sure that's a movie quote or a TV show.
I think it probably is something like that.
Mute. Is
The
that the other guys?
I don't know. The point being that Poach said very specifically about Josh Sargent, it was for football reasons. That isn't, I wanted Josh to take a break or I wanted him to get his ankle 100% healthy. Because if it was that, that's what he would have said. He didn't. He specifically said, don't rate him.
Poach has given him chances. He's looked at him. He's called him to a number of camps. If he wants to leave him off and try other players, that's perfectly fine.
Yep.
I don't think anybody's solidified in number 3, despite the fact that Aguiman has in fact scored goals this camp. Congratulations.
Yep.
But I mean, moving forward is going to be the most telling aspect of it all. I mean, if Sargent goes to Bundesliga or EPL or Serie A, and he's scoring goals, and Poach still doesn't call him, then well, damn, he's fucked with Poach.
Right. Spider's Lawton with a really good question. Can Wolfsburg even afford Sargent? That's a really good question. It seems to me that he'd be out of their range. They'd be out of the range that they're asking for. The teams that can afford him, obviously Leeds can, Burnley can, Roma would be a stretch, but I think they can if they really want to make that kind of commitment.
Yeah.
But really, it's the EPL teams that can afford him first. Let's be really honest.
Sure.
So everybody else, that's a lot of money to invest in a player, a striker who has only proven it so far in the championship that he's a great striker, not the EPL. So
I don't think they're going to get the 25+ mil that they're asking for, regardless of who's buying him.
I think you're right.
They have to sell him.
They have to sell him, just like
No.
they have to sell his teammate. They have to.
Sainz,
No way around it. Sainz, yeah. So Borja Sainz. So they got to sell those two players. They desperately need the money. Their parachute payments are done. They're financially, if they don't sell them, which puts them in between a rock and a hard place, because everybody knows they're going to be desperate. So you're going to see a lot of these teams negotiate, but they're going to hang on to like a week left or a few days left, and for Norwich to get completely desperate. Just that's probably what's going to happen. And then he's going to end up selling for like 18 instead of 30.
I think 18 is the most realistic.
30 is what they
I was going
want.
to suggest.
Yeah, no. 30 is what they want. They're going to get 18, I think. That's just a guess. Edgar for Castillo for 199. If Mr. Stubborn fails today, I need pitchforks out. Mr. Stubborn being Poach. Yes, I called him Stubborn today. Because, we haven't seen any changes. And I know a lot of people, like Jimmy, say if it's not broke, why fix it? But I think all of us were kind of resigned to this being the lineup. I think we knew it. We knew he wasn't changing anything. So, let's just hope that Arson could play some defense today.
Fingers crossed, yeah.
I mean, he's fine going forward, but not so much defending. All right, SAFB for $5. This is Jose Reyes. Say, Jose, change my logo for some streams. I will do in the future. Let us get the win today so I can watch the game on Sunday for my B-Day. Happy birthday on Sunday.
Jose, I see a gaming controller in there. I'm assuming your content you're going to do for streaming is going to be gaming. What games do you play? What games do you play?
Speaking of games I play, today I will be, and yes, they're restocked. They are restocked on the My Philosophers, or the Three Philosophers. So I'll be drinking this Belgian Delight Quadruple Ale made in America. 9.7 alcohol by volume. A blend of quadruple ale and Creek ale with cherries. I got another different bottle in there too. We'll see how long I nurse this one.
All right, so as the time is coming up here really quickly here. So Stu comes out and says, hey, I think people are underestimating Tillman by simply saying he's involved in everything. Here's all the stats.
Yeah.
I'm paraphrasing, of course. You said, if this is the kind of analysis continues from you, we might be able to get along after all.
And he laughs. Good to hear.
Continuing the goodwill.
But then I had to give him an apology there. It was a momentary freak out a couple years ago. I'm much better now. Sorry for the stray.
Go better.
Go
that's where
better.
you're Go better. All right.
And then Eric and I talked about squirrel rabies. You don't have to pull that up.
I don't have that pulled up at all.
That guy that got attacked on his porch by the squirrel.
Yes, I do remember that. Yes.
Yeah. So people are like, what's up with the squirrel? The squirrel's crazy. Yeah, it's got rabies. It's probably got rabies. Yeah. That's why I attacked a fucking dog. Squirrels don't attack dogs. All right. Dogs chase squirrels. That's how that works. And squirrels typically don't attack humans either. but they have been known to do so when they have rabies. So it's not the first time a squirrel's attacked a person. Just saying.
Tax Brazilian Ghost wants to know if we bought bunny ears yet. Nope, no rabbit ears.
Nope.
Still
Why?
running on the VIX. The VIX. I paid for VIX, so I'm going to run it out for the rest of this tournament here.
Where do you go to buy bunny ears these days?
Amazon.
Like, do they have that? Like, there's no Radio Shacks left.
Yeah, there's a couple other technology-based. Maybe Best Buy. Yeah,
You think?
I think Amazon's going to be your best bet, quite frankly.
All right, yeah,
You'll
probably.
get it like in a day or two.
Yeah. And by the way, if you ever do get bitten by a squirrel, drive your ass immediately to the hospital. This is no joke. You do not want to die of fucking rabies. That is like one of the worst ways to go. Okay.
Good news is the stadium looks pretty filled.
Bad news is it's mostly full of Guatemalans and Guatemalan Americans.
We're going to take it, okay? Okay, we're going to take it.
Yeah. So it's an away game.
That's fine. I always say that. I wish we'd play more away games.
Well, we do often, actually, right here in our own country.
I guess while we're waiting for the national anthems to play real quick, I'm going to go grab a drink.
All right, Guatemala's is already finished.
That's fine.
All right, now I think we move to the USA national anthem here, and then we'll try to get the clock up so you guys know at least where we are. I don't have the sound up, but it looks like the U.S. anthem has started. And yeah, I used too thick of a marker on this, so I didn't really. But anyhow, I would expect Adams to play deep like he did last time in front of Ream and Richards, and many times right in between the two of them, sort of in the Maloney-Heidenheim role. And that'll allow Luca De La Torre to roam space and try to find open space so he can advance the ball up to Tillman or Berhalter or Luna. I would expect Arson and Freeman to again have more freedom to move forward. And yes, the game is on Univision and Fox and VIX. That's where you will be able to watch the game. Hey, I even had a little joke with Doug McIntyre today because he made a post. It sounded extremely Michael Cameron-esque. So I joked about it. I said, wow, this is a kind of very Michael Cameron-like, Cameron-esque, aka the turd in the background kind of statement you've made here or post you've made. And he said, hey, yeah, no, really, it's just a hat tip to Jeff Crandall, actually, is what he said. And Jeff is the communications director for U.S. Soccer, if you didn't know that. So, and he added Jeff Crandall on the post, which I just find it so weird that people talk to us now. We were like blackballed for a little while there.
Yeah.
And now everybody will talk to us, which is good. It means they have figured out we're not ogres and we're not dark lords, right? We're here to have a goddamn good time. That's why we're here. We love the team. We've been through all the ups and downs. We're not dark lords. We're not here to, get all depressed and gloomy. We're here to drink some beer, have a good time, and watch a match. And hopefully,
Kata wants to know. First off, I'm glad I haven't seen you in a while, but he says, "Who's the chat collectively hating? Agman yet?" We'll see you in his first touch.
Chris Gary said, "You're toxic." We've been called that. Trust me, we've been called that.
All right, so Derek, when it's kickoff, you tell me because I know you're gonna be a few seconds ahead of me at least.
Probably, hopefully not like 10.
Fingers crossed.
Or 20.
Just don't understand why they can't get this shit in order.
Hopefully, you're still not on the national anthem.
They're just clapping right now.
Okay. They're showing the lineup.
I got an advertisement coming up here.
Okay.
Ford,
all right.
Ford Motor Cars.
So that is the U.S. roster. They're putting it up. Yes, they got it right. 4-2-3-1, except they have Berhalter playing the CAM. I don't know about that. I think he's going to be more outright. I think Tillman's going to be in the middle. Hey, but you know what? They might be right. Maybe they know something I don't. And we'll find out real soon here if it's Berhalter playing the CAM role.
I just assume that Luca De La Torre and Berhalter are going to kind of be playing like dual eights.
That's what we thought last time, but it didn't really kind of work out that way.
I just think that his dual 8 on that side, because there's going to be a massive gap because Tillman does pinch in, it's gonna end up being Berhalter pushing up into that open space in the end. I mean, Freeman did it too.
I mean, we'll find out here, but I mean, last game, Berhalter was kind of playing the McGlynn role, but except he wasn't getting as wide. And then Tillman was playing like all over the middle, or actually anywhere he wanted to get the ball, right?
Spiders Latin saw the Sebastian Berhalter to Bayern rumor on Big Soccer. I think the biggest thing to take away from that is that, man, people still visit Big Soccer. Cool.
You know, that's cool, but it was hilarious watching the game yesterday on the Club World Cup that, yes, the announcer totally believed it and announced it during the game.
I've got it pulled up as one of my tabs, too, because there's a couple of jokey ones.
I mean, I just don't understand how you can. We'll get to those. We'll get to those in halftime. I'm about to start here.
Chris Gary says kickoff for him.
Oh shit! Kickoff for me.
All right.
Okay.
Chris Gary, you're fortunate. Nobody's going to be spoiling it for you, most likely.
I'm 3 seconds behind Chris. That's it. For once.
Oh, man, my video is so far behind right now. They're just nowhere near it. God damn. What are you, 17, 18, 19? Really? Shit.
You're not started yet?
I have not started yet.
Holy Coroni.
Again, Derek, don't hold back. I'm 30 seconds behind you right now. I'm still showing the Guatemalan lineup.
Fucking unbelievable. Maybe it's part of the deal. Yeah, Vix, we'll give you the rights to play it, but your feed's going to be like a minute behind. All right, Arsen's got it up the left side. He's going to chill out and get it back to Ream. Ream's going to kick it around the horn. Yep, to Richards. Richards going to turn around and get it to nope, Adams. They're pushing up on Adams. He still kicks it to Adams, who's kind of playing as that middle center back right now in this role.
Untouchable says spoilers in the chat will be dealt with.
Yeah.
Socks, there was soap inside their socks, yeah.
Freeze is fucking around with it in the back, and we almost paid the price. Almost paid the price. And now we've lost possession. Now they're on the corner, the counter. And they're still coming at us. Good steal there by Adams. But ball bounces around. Ream gets it. And a pass to no one. And a shot by Guatemala that is wide. Okay, folks, that's not a very good start. That's not very good. It is a very aggressive high line indeed, says Zelos from Guatemala. They're not going around, dude. I mean,
I'm a minute 20 behind.
It's sad, dude. So we watched Adams drop all the way back into the between Ream and Richards, and they still pushed up on Adams, even though he came that far back. All right, Aguiman takes it down from a long delivery. It's to Luna. Luna to Aguiman. Aguiman back to Luna. Luna over to Arfson. Arfson, what the fuck was that? I don't know if he tripped over himself or what, but he just basically kicked the ball to the other team. Can you refresh maybe? You think never really?
I did. That's waiting there while you were talking the entire time. I was waiting for it to come back up and then jumped in at 30 seconds. So
that's crazy.
I mean, I guess Vix's defense. I mean, it's not like they're concerned as people live watching this match.
Right. Well,
you're paying the $6 whatever a month. You get to watch the match. It's just, you're going to be behind.
Just don't text any of your friends while you're doing it.
Exactly.
Because they'll be minutes ahead. Luna goal off a rebound. Boy, that was messy by Guatemala, but a lot of good.
They're like, Luna goal, that was messy by Guatemala. I was like, I thought you were telling Luna that it was messy.
No, that was messy defense, messy deflection, but good stuff overall. There was a shot prior to that. I couldn't see.
I'll celebrate about a minute and 20 seconds.
Yeah, good stuff.
Aguiman plays it out to Barfson. Barfson, Luna. Luna Argamon back to Luna. That was bad by Barson.
That's the one Barson
Next
gives
to
it
that
away.
cross, man. Jeez.
Okay, so who was
What we
that?
do is-
That was Freeman to.
What is it with the U.S. men's national team and the lack of ability of crossing a fucking ball?
Let's see who shot. So the ball goes back to Tillman, who has a bad touch, but Berhalter smashes it. Luna picks up the rebound and scores. Good stuff. Good stuff. I think Luna is making his case, baby.
Yeah. I think he's etched his name on the 26 already. That's guaranteed.
And Weah has an off season. Look out.
Nice. Just saw the goal.
Yeah, I figured.
Woot.
Woot, woot.
Woot, woot, motherfuckers.
All right, so we've started off again here, Guatemala, taking the ball into our area, booting it around. It's our throw-in, though, I believe. We shall see.
Man, these fan cams have incredibly high-definition cameras, man. I'm picking out every pore on every little fans.
Oh, yeah.
Was a nice ball out by Luna to open the attack first and foremost.
Yep. That all went well. I like
if that was our goalkeeper, we'd be saying, dude, you gotta beat that, you gotta knock that off to the side, not down the middle.
Right. That wasn't the best goalkeeping. And this goalkeeper's been erratic throughout this competition. He's made some great saves, and then he's let some go through that you thought, what are you half asleep there, or what the hell's wrong with you?
Untouchable says, step on their toes.
Step on their toes. He did request that I do the whole broadcast with the German accent. I don't. That would really annoy Brett after a while.
The more I drink, the more likely I'd chime in with a German accent.
And I don't think it'd be German.
No.
It would be my sort of weird goat thing that I do.
Goat thing, yeah. Well, it's like whenever I do. There's the thing. Like whenever I break out to like a Russian accent, always jump into that Simpsons meme where it's like, in Soviet Russia, car drives you, and that's how you really get into it. And it doesn't sound like a Russian by any means, but still, it's stereotypical.
I had to do that dog on so many shows for so many things back in the big soccer days that I didn't even have to think about it. It was second nature.
Spider's Latin wants you to do the show in a Midwest accent.
Well, welcome. This is what this is, as far as I understand.
I hate to tell you this, Spider's Latin, there is no Midwestern accent. It's just the normal accent, and all you other freaks out there have different accents.
Richards almost gets caught with a ball. We are in a breakaway here. We're on a counter. Sorry to interrupt, but we are on a counter. Yep. Tillman's got it. And settled back to Adams. Adams up to Tillman. Tillman, there's really no place for you to go. But he's playing a lot more wide right now. He really is. Well, now he's roaming back to the middle. Yeah. I think Tillman pretty much can go wherever he really wants, looks like.
Yeah. I do have to agree with you, though. Berhalter is playing the McGlynn role.
There's a ball just kicked up to Agumon. Agumon gets it. Does he keep it in? Yes, he does. Freeman over to Tillman. Tillman to Adams. Adams to Berhalter. Berhalter over to Freeman. Berhalter into. Oh yeah, he tried to get that into Tillman. I think. Yeah, Freeman. It didn't work out. Freeman's way up the pitch.
Jumping back to the accent talk real quick.
Yeah,
I know I've told this story before, I'm sure, but when I visited a friend of ours who was studying abroad in Greece. Back in 2009, I guess. We went to Athens, Greece, and we were going through some of their outdoor shopping mall, not malls, but a little shopping center and everything. And I came across the place I was selling soccer jerseys. Well, at least fake soccer jerseys or whatever, replicas.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, yeah, can I get the 2 Juventus jerseys for this size and this size? And she goes, oh my God, are you guys from the Midwest? I'm like, yeah. She goes, Indiana? And I go, oh, that's weird. She's like, I can tell by the accent. It's nice to hear a Midwest accent because apparently this lady's been living in Greece for a handful of years, and it's a rarity that she hears somebody from her homeland.
Huh, interesting. Yeah,
but how she pinpointed me down to Indiana, I was like, fucking hell.
It's pretty standard. Yeah. I don't know. I don't. And by the way, not all of Indiana talks like we talk.
You break down the Martinsville line, the Deep South, and then changes right there.
Yeah. And I don't know how I would have one, since my accent, the way I talk, was well developed before I moved here when I was 16 years old.
I'd say your Midwest accent would probably correlate more with UBU and Bloomington. And that's obviously different because that's a hodgepodge of accents.
Hell yeah, it is. There's people from all over the world there. All right, so we got the ball. We're circulating it around. Berhalter back to Adams. Adams up to, not sure who the fuck that is. Arson, yeah. All right, we got a lot of exchanging positions going on here, but Luna's got it now. He finds Adams, and now, yeah. Is that Tillman? Yes, it is. He's going to crank one from outside the box, and he did. He didn't, and he's going to crank another one. Oh, my God. Just over the goal, but loving it. This is much better. We look really comfortable out there. Maybe a little sketchy on defense.
Maybe a little too comfortable.
Yes. Tillman had 2 pops at that. A little too risky business for me on defense so far.
Sure.
We've been exposed a couple times. They've taken a number of shots. None of them really been on goal, but the defense makes me a little nervous, and all the ticky-tacking around in the back. So
the ball that Freeman played back across, that he chased down a minute and a half ago for you.
Yeah.
That Agumon tried to bring down just outside the 6. Do you think he should have slip-headed that and tried to score with a header?
I don't know.
I mean, he brought it down. It wasn't that bad of a play, but I'm just sitting there like, he was at the 6, man. All you had to do is just put it on goal to set, and I think it would be fine. He might not score it, I'm just saying.
Yeah. Anyhow, ball bounce. It's corner kick, Guatemala. Richards does clear it eventually, but, I mean, it was kind of messy. Not Richards in general, but just the fact that it kind of bounced around in our box for a while. Good finish by Luna. Man, how many goals do he have so far this tournament? Is that 3?
2 or 3, yeah. Oof, that was not far off.
All right, now we're on the counter. Luna with the ball. Looking, gets it out wide to Berhalter. Not real wide because he's going to go even wider to Freeman. Freeman back to Luna. Luna roaming. He's on the right now with Freeman. I thought he's going to tuck it and go there for a second. Back to Richards, and we recycle. Ream. Up to De La Torre. De La Torre back to Ream. Back out wide to Arfson. Back to Richards. Luna playing right back all of a sudden. They didn't pass it to him. They tried for a long ball all the way up to Luca De La Torre / Agumon. Didn't work out. And here comes Guatemala with possession. They just kick it out of bounds, trying to switch fields, but no one was there. That was just booted straight out of bounds. That was Aaron Herrera who kicked out, former U.S. men's national team player. And Ruben Rubin, probably their best player, along with Aaron Herrera, best 2 players they've got. Both former U.S. men's national team players. Youth team players.
Ute team, yeah.
Utes. Freeman with a long-ass throw-in to Agumon. Shit, that was like 40 yards. 50 yards. You don't really see those often. Poach is up yelling instructions. Freeman with the throw-in again. way down the field again to Ajimon. This has got to have been planned. Like, that's a plan.
You know, sitting here watching, obviously, way behind you and everything, but it's just something's been catching my eye. When the ball's like on the right-hand side, there's like 2 or 3 guys that are always moving over there, moving around, and whatever.
Sorry.
Yep, that's fine.
That was another Luna goal, and oh my God. What a pass from Tillman all the way cross field to Luna. Luna took like 4 dribbles and hammered that shit from outside the box into the lower corner. Sorry to interrupt.
Fucking game right now. No. You cut me off anytime. Again, I'm a minute 20 behind you, so.
Anyway, you were talking about them playing down the right side.
So yeah, no, any side doesn't really matter. Whatever, left or right side doesn't really matter. That on that right hand side, that was the one I was focusing on. Was Freeman, Luna, and somebody else, maybe Tillman or Sebastian Berhalter or something. And they're all moving around fine. But I'm looking at the rest of the field, and they're all sitting there with their thumbs up their asses. And
yeah,
you can't move past those 2 or 3 guys because we have no options moving forward.
Yeah,
or laterally at least.
This was a brilliant catch by Tillman, by the way, finding Luna like all by himself out on the other side. This is almost switching fields practically. And Luna bacon shakes one of the dudes out of their drawers and clobbers that shit into the bottom left-hand corner. All right, guys, this
comment's for you, Derek. This comment's for you, Derek.
Luna proving you wrong about having a strong shot on him. That's the hardest I've ever seen him kick it. I'll be honest.
Yeah, that was a nice shot.
Yep.
Beat the keeper near post too, man.
Yep, that was a good shot. Most of his shots are closer in than that. So good to know he can do it if
you can do it.
He has to. All right, it's 2-0. Guatemala with possession.
Henry says Scuff Pod needs to eat some crow and delete their podcast. Assuming they're anti-Luna is my guess.
What'd they say?
I'm assuming they're anti-Luna or something.
Huh.
I just like he needs to eat crow and delete the podcast.
That's a lot. That's quite a commitment.
Oh, it's a nice sell too.
Oh boy! So Guatemala threatening. God. They take a hammer from the outside of the box, and it goes over the goal. They're willing to shoot. I got to give Guatemala credit. They
have to.
Yep.
They're 16 minutes in, as of for you at least. They're 16 minutes in, and they're down 2-0. They have to shoot. 25, 30 yards. Take a riff.
I'm really surprised Scuffed are such Luna haters. That shocks me a little because I thought their show really turned into kind of a mainstreamy show.
Here you go. He says they've been saying Luna isn't that good and hasn't impressed.
Yeah, but you'd say we said that too. So now I'm kind of wondering.
No, he said that you said that he needs to move to Europe before he starts.
I never said that. I said Poach probably would want him to move. This is back when we hadn't been playing. We had, 2 MLS players on Poach's first rosters. So I said on the show, I think if Luna wants to make it on a Poach's roster, he's going to have to move to Europe. That's all I fucking said. Jesus Christ. That doesn't mean I agreed with Poach. Just mean I thought at the time that was the reality. It didn't look like MLS guys were going to get called under Poach, at least for the first, windows, first few games or so. The rosters were. I think
there've been a couple games. There's been a couple games where we sat back and we said, "This hasn't been Luna's best game." I feel like.
We've said that.
I feel like we expect more. And there have been a ton of games. I say a ton of games. He's only been here since January. That's the weirdest thing to really think about.
Right.
He's been here since January. And we've come to expect more. So when he doesn't have that standout performance, we're sitting there like, oh man, Luna's not really showing his game right now. But he's out there balling tonight, man. Working balling.
Yep. Bambi fighting there on the ground there a little bit. Fell to the ground a little.
He was fighting on the ground, which just makes a little sense given the nickname and everything. He's fighting on the ground. Well, he was already on the ground. No.
I mean, he got
I haven't noticed him falling. I haven't noticed him falling at this game.
You will in a minute. He gets pushed a little.
Yeah.
I mean, for a guy at his size, it's surprising he would go down that easy, honestly. And the guy covering him is almost comparably a midget. Honestly. The guy's got to be like 7 inches shorter than him.
And you know, I know center backs that are playing up on the man, like on Agumon, are going to be pulling jerseys, pulling shorts, and stuff like that. But I feel like Agumon's play when he gets the ball, he's always like cupping his arm around the dude's arm and turning, you know, to get around him and stuff.
Agumon has not been called offsides on a breakaway. He still missed it. Now they call offsides, but it was pretty obvious it was offsides. By the way, I had to chime in there. There was a really good exchange between Luna on the left and Tillman, and Agumon's about 3 yards offsides.
That was a nice first touch. Again, I'm a minute 20 behind, but that was a decent first touch by Agumon there. Ball got played down. He went down to the ground. I saw the part.
Did you see that part?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a little too easy. If you're going to
I haven't heard much this match is Luca De La Torre. I mean, I saw him make a pass recently. I'm just like, oh, shit, I forgot he's out there.
Yeah. All right, for the 196 of you here now, make sure you like, subscribe, share with your grandma. Give your stepsister a little kiss on the cheek from us. I know she's hanging out with you watching the game. All right.
A little more entertained today than previous games for her.
Yeah, so far so good. All right, Guatemala with possession in our end. Here we go. They're not yet in the final third. They're working their way down.
Oh, Luca. Good touch on them, man.
Good defense by Freeman.
I'll say this. Oh, jeez, he was way offside, dude.
Yeah.
The way you made it sound like he hasn't been called offside yet. I'm like, well, maybe he's just barely offside. No, he was off by like 3 yards.
Well, yeah, 3. It's definitely 3 yards.
At that point, it's okay to go ahead and call it ahead of time, man. He was literally camping.
I know. It's kind of embarrassing sometimes.
It's a yard and a half. But
yeah.
Still.
Holy shit. Luna goes up for a header and gets totally undercut. He is on the pitch, and he's getting up from the ground. All right, he's fine. Robles with the undercut on that. That looked purposeful.
What I was going to say about Tillman before I cut myself off there was Tillman this tournament, and noticing in this match especially, has changed how he plays. So you know, you wouldn't necessarily label him as like languid like you would with Reyna,
right?
But he definitely is sort of a slower, methodically moved over here, build up.
Looking, yes,
yeah, exactly. He's busting his ass and he's getting tackles now. So I mean, it's a good look, especially as we're talking about a handful of windows left before the World Cup.
By the way, you're about to see Freeman totally fuck up on her end and almost cost us a goal.
God, I feel like that's every game we have one of those.
I don't know what the fuck he was doing there.
Edgar Castillo for 499 says, I think I'm finally coming around Bambi. Should I get checked?
I don't know what you mean by coming around. We're all going to be supportive while he's out there playing, but, we want him to do well.
Yeah.
Is he first team quality? No.
We talked about how, Brandon, and we talked about how Sargent need to grow sacks. They need to man up and do this. No problems. We call Bambi. I mean, just run with the nickname at this point. No, it's fine. It's fine to like Agumon, by all means.
Yeah.
Like who you like. It's fine.
Super cool, nice guy from all I know.
Yeah. And if he gets his move to the oh, geez, Freeman. The fuck was that?
Yes, you saw it finally, huh?
Yeah.
Richard saved his ass.
Exactly. But I mean, hopefully, if he gets his move to the championship at that point, maybe he'll, start really working that center, that target man role. Because if he can mix, and we said this about Josie too at the time. But because he's also the type of player that would always run behind the lines, not necessarily play the target role. But if you could learn the target role and still have those aspects of making the runs behind the defense, you'll be a solid fucking striker. But we just need Patrick to make sure he solidifies the fact that he is a 6'4" body. And play like somebody who's a 6'4" body.
Challenge also, he's already 26. In about a minute.
Is he 26?
Yeah,
He's
25, 26 years old. Yep.
I thought he was 24.
So, he's not going to technically improve that much more than he already is. But he
24,
does.
He's 24.
You will see him get hacked like hell in about a minute.
Such as the role as a target striker. Your body's just going to get brutalized.
I mean, he was 1-on-1. He held up the ball well. He turned. He made his run, and they just took his ass down. So
yeah. No, man. If he could figure out how to really hold himself up and play with his back to the goal, he'd be a pretty solid fucking striker for us.
I think he just needs to spend a whole fucking summer with McBride. Honestly,
yeah,
a whole off season with Brian McBride, learning all the tricks.
I mean, you don't have to be a solid mammal like Josie was a solid fucking mammal,
right?
And it was always boggled my mind how he was never a target striker growing up. He was always a big guy,
and yet McBride was only 6'1".
Yeah, well, and I say that, but I mean, Pepe and Sargent are solid target strikers too. They're not like big and ripped by any means. Oh my god, I think I was just holding on to Patrick.
Yeah. Right now, a minute and 24 in the future, Guatemala has the ball on our end. They're dribbling it around. We almost made another mistake. So the defense is looking really kind of shaky, guys. It's a little nerve-wracking.
I've only noticed from our backs, our centers seem to be pretty solid enough.
Cross. It's into Guatemala. Header is wide. Yeah, we're vulnerable. I don't know how much longer this is going to go on before they, score a goal at this point. This is a really good quality cross from Guatemala. It wasn't on goal, though. The header needs to be on goal for Guatemala. Good God, that's just atrocious. All right, we do seem to be lobbing up in the air to Aguiman quite a bit today.
Head that ball back to freeze, man. That's all you got to do. You don't have to hoof it.
Richards with a good pass to Adams, although it was scary out of the back. Out wide to Arson. We have not called his name as much today. A lot more going down the opposite side.
Colin's asking if we would play Cannon at center back. Is Cannon actually playing anywhere?
Yeah. MLS.
He's back in MLS now?
Yeah. Been back for a while.
I have no idea. I mean, aside from that failed stint in England because of the debacle in Portugal, I don't know.
I've only watched Cannon play one MLS game this year. So I don't know if I really have
that's sketchy.
Don't know if I have an opinion of where he's at right now. All right, Berhalter out wide to Arson. Arson inside to Aguiman. Aguiman ticks it off to Luna. Luna stands on it. Nope, offsides. Okay.
It was Arson that got beat there. Yeah, it's his man on that header cross. I mean, he lost his guy.
Yep. Is Berhalter to Bayern links real? No, it is not. It was a joke somebody put out that the Club World Cup announcers took seriously. And you would think you have.
It's one of those things where I'll believe it when I see it. I don't care. I don't care if Fabrizio posted that. I'd say, all right, let's wait to see what happens there.
Yeah, I'd say, is it April 1st?
Yeah.
Wait, it's not April 1st. Okay, well, it's probably still a joke.
Well, it's April 1st somewhere, right? It's 5 o'clock. Never mind, 5 o'clock.
Well, in the universe, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, goal for Guatemala. Looks like it's all sides, though. But I'm telling you right now, it's some sketchy-ass defense we are playing right now.
From backs or center? Because, again, I've noticed that the center backs have been fine.
On this one, it was everybody. Midfield, the midfield defense. Let's see what happens. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that was just so offsides by Guatemala. That was nobody's problem. That if you're that offsides, yes, you're going to get the ball. So Rubin does not get a goal. All right, again, on the goal kicks, we are just kicking it all the way down to Ajimon and hope he can bring it down. That looks like that was the game plan, honestly. All that does mean is that, we're going to lose a lot of possession there. I'm not saying we need to play out of the back, but because Guatemala are playing such a high line, I understand why they're doing it. It hasn't amounted to what we hoped it would yet.
Conreese asks, if somebody gave you a choice of Agudelo and Aguiman for today, which are you picking? Now, are we talking about primetime Agudelo? Or are we talking about current day Agudelo?
Primetime Agudelo lasted for about 2.5, 3 years.
It's fine. I mean, if I could take primetime over primetime Augie versus primetime Agudelo, I'm taking primetime Agudelo. But Econ does say right now I'm going to take Aguiman. This is what Agudelo's playing in USL right now, right?
I don't know if he's even playing anymore. He was last year. All right, here's a water break. I'm going to actually go get my nose drops because I can't breathe.
Roger. I'm still waiting for that water break. I'm thirsty. We got going on here. For San Antone, huh?
All right. Well, it's 2-1. I think offensively
2-0.
2-0, excuse me. Offensively, we've been really good. Finishing in the final third, but things have been looking a little shaky in the back. And so to fix that, it's obviously they've been told to hammer it up the pitch, which is the way to solve that problem,
Derek,
I suppose.
Why is the international signal for water break this right here?
I don't know.
Just saying.
Because you hold the bottle up like that when you drink it?
Yes, that's weird.
Yep.
I mean, maybe like this. I don't know. Maybe they think you're just talking, but
maybe it should be this.
Yeah. Hey. Is it drink time? Drink time? Decibels goes, shake weight? Yep, it's a shake weight.
Remember the shake weight. That shit was funny.
That was real funny. I mean, that's got to be up there with the Wonder Boner, right?
Something like that, yeah.
Wonder Boner.
Unbelievable that was a real product, the shake weight. It wasn't a joke, although the commercials definitely played that up with all the women using the shake weight.
Yeah. Yeah, just a nice little jiggle action going on there.
Yep. All right, Guatemala with the ball. Good tackle by Berhalter, I think that was. Yes. Transition. Luca De La Torre off to Arson, I think. No, Luna to Arson. Arson all the way back to Adams. Adams back to Arson. Arson all the way back to Ream. Ream will kick it forward from here. He's not going to. There we go.
All the articles that are going about bitching about like the water breaks during the Club World Cup and all that type of stuff and everything. I mean, is having a water break any different than a player simulating being injured for 2 or 3 minutes?
I think, above a certain temperature, I think water breaks are fair. I think I think it's safe. What I would question is the players during an 80-degree weather day having to stay inside the locker room who are sitting on the sidelines. That's ridiculous.
I think having a water break at an 80-degree day is bullshit too, though.
Depends on the humidity. Depends on the humidity for me. Almost a goal for Rubio Rubin. I'm telling you, dude, this is Nervous City. It was a long ball. Rubin ran underneath it. Let's see who he beats. Probably Ream would be my guess. Yep, playing behind Ream's shoulder. Here comes the pass. Was it really offsides? He's got Ream beat. He just couldn't catch up to the ball. Corner kick, Guatemala. Guatemala with a header. Cleared by Freeman. Back into the box. Cleared. Cleared way. They regain possession. They're picking on Ream here. Holy shit on that cross. Freeze comes out. I think he may have just thrown the Guatemalan player off enough. But I'm telling you, recently it's been a lot of Guatemala in our end.
Man, this ref is very sensitive on some of these fouls. I'm sorry, I'm behind you and everything, but Luca De La Torre went to stop the ball from going out of bounds, and the ref called the foul back on him. What the fuck?
Yeah,
he didn't do shit.
That. Yeah, Poach has his hand on his head after that Rubio Rubin try breakaway. Free kick. You will see why in a second. Second is Luca De La Torre and Luna rugby smash. One of the Guatemala players.
Alex Caven says, I was reading this scientist saying that next year's World Cup kickoff time should be 9 a.m. due to heat in America.
It's not that bad. And
I have a post about it. Basically, you would never be able to have a World Cup in a slew of countries around the world.
Right. It's a joke. Come on.
Yeah.
These complaints have been ridiculous.
Well, I mean, and somebody pointed
hotter,
out.
It's hotter than it normally is this time of year anyhow.
Somebody pointed out why it's Europeans that are bitching about this. And it's because the Europeans wanted the World Cup to be played prime time their time.
Well, they can cry about it all they want. The World Cup's going to be here next year, little bitches.
Yeah, and you know what? We had to watch games in South Korea and Japan and stuff, but we had to watch games at 2, 4 in the morning. Man, the fuck up, guys.
Yeah, seriously. And I mean, if 80 degrees is really that hot to you, please. Now, I understand in places like Indiana where 83 feels like 92. I get it. So you do need to look at the heat index, not the temperature.
If it was 82 and it felt like 82, I'm a fucking professional player. Fuck off.
What the fuck are we doing here? I mean, this has been all Guatemala the last 10 fucking minutes. Wake the fuck up, guys. These are just long balls in. Long ball after long ball after long ball. And then crosses that, boy, if these guys weren't so small, they'd get ahead on this. But they don't have any big guys on this team. Actually, Rubin does get ahead on it. It glances off his head and goes out of bounds for a goal kick. We better wake the fuck up. Just because it's 2-0, man.
I like the play I was watching while you're talking about that. They're fiddle fucking in the box and outside the box. And then finally, after so many heads back and forth between Guatemala and U.S., Freeman just comes up and wails the ball 80 yards down the pitch.
Yeah.
Fuck this, guys.
Yep. Yep. All right.
And they got to throw in all the way down by their 18, and we don't box them in. We just give them the field to run down at us again.
Well, guess who's got possession right now?
We're up 2-0 and we're playing like it at this point. We're sitting there coasting. We're pulled our feet off the pedals. We're just coasting.
Yep. Foul
and
on Tillman.
What's going to happen is they're going to sneak a goal in before halftime, and then all of a sudden it's going to be a battle.
Yeah, I mean, 2-0 is not the safest lead at all. That's we've always said.
It's argued that it's the most dangerous lead.
It is. Can't start.
Guatemala gets one more goal, and all of a sudden, their intensity is going to increase. We're going to start scrambling.
Inside to Rubio Rubin in the box. It's taken by Adams. Ball. Crossed by Guatemala into the box. It's a little high. Chased down by Arson.
Like how
out
Berhalter
of
literally just drug his balls across that guy.
Yeah.
Excuse me?
Seems like all we're doing now is just kicking it up to Aguiman and hoping for the best. It's like we're not the better team.
He's on a fucking island right now.
Yeah.
I mean, the gap between him and the rest of our midfield is like 20 yards. What's he supposed to do?
Yep. Ream, Arson to nobody. He meant for Luca De La Torre. What? Luca De La Torre wasn't there. Anyhow, that could have been a scary counter. And then Tillman kicks a really scary ball back to Freeze, who just kicks it out of bounds. Man, this is looking shaky, dude. This has been going on now for 15 minutes? 10 plus? Corner kick, Guatemala. Yep, Freeze didn't get to that ball. Went out of bounds before he kicked it out of bounds. So, corner kick, Guatemala. In this highly sustained attack. Cross. Inside. Near post. Shitty corner. Really shitty-ass corner by Guatemala. So, goal kick to us.
Patrick, you have like a foot over that dude. Hold the fuck up.
Nobody calling for downs has even seen him play at the club level. And they just ignore its actual performance in the actual tournament. What has he done so bad in the actual tournament? Number one. And nobody, I don't know nobody, because I've watched a bunch of current games this season. A bunch. But that's not to say we know who Downs is. We don't. He's young. He's got a lot of growth ahead of him. You know what I mean, Placata? All right, Aguiman. 2-on-2 with Luna. Oh, God, he passed it way behind Luna. Luna has to go chase it now into the corner. He gets it back to Arson. Arson, head up. Gets totally rugby tackled. Penalty right outside the box. What the fuck was that? That was one of the worst tackles I've ever seen. The Guatemalan guy must jumped on his back. It pushes him down. That wasn't as bad as I guess from that angle. Yeah, Downs has got more than 20 minutes all tournament. What do you mean his performance? Agreed. Like, you mean the whole 10 minutes he got here and the whole 8 minutes he got there? We're supposed to judge Downs by that in this tournament? No. Well, the real reason, Placata, he's going with Aguiman is he knows what he's going to get. He knows. Downs is a new character to this team. This is his first call-up. He hasn't played really enough for, I think, Poach to trust him. And let's be fair. Poach is going to go with the guy he's been riding so far. That's just how it's going to go. If somebody says, Stu's so annoying, I don't have the sound on. So that's probably true.
I just saw the play where Aguiman passed it behind Luna on that 2v2.
Yeah, that was rough.
Bad.
Yes, BAD.
Man, that's terrible.
That's terrible.
Terrible.
Yep. That was poor.
Jose Reyes or SAFB for $5. This team enjoys giving me mini strokes every game, I swear.
Yeah.
They're definitely like we mentioned with Freeman, there's always one, what the fuck was that, before you have an opportunity, you know?
Right.
God. Yeah, everybody's got it. Our backs are probably our weakest spots of the team, quite frankly, at this point.
Right now, that's true. Cool. Wow, what a blast. Who took that? Berhalter took his the free kick there. It was a solid one, saved by the goalkeeper. And, that's a good 30 yards out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, sorry, was it a set play?
Yes.
Or just a shot?
And it did get a deflection off the guy's head in the wall.
His like I mentioned before, his set plays have definitely been a breath of fresh air compared to what we're used to.
Better than
a lot better than ballistics, yes.
Yep. No, I mean, it really feels natural watching Berhalter do it. When I watch Pulisic take set pieces, I just know there's a 60% chance it's going to be awful.
Oh my goodness! Look who's in the chat. Sparkle Duck,
where you been, brother?
Bro, I haven't seen you in a long time. Long
Holy-
time.
Oh my God. In a minute and 24 minutes, you are going to shoot your pants. That should have been a goal for Guatemala.
Mm.
That should have been 2-1 there. Let's see. Corner kick for Guatemala. It's instant replay. Comes in. A really good heading opportunity for them. Nobody picks up the guy coming in late from the box. It's a great save initially by Freeze. A reaction save from Freeze.
Chris Gary, how far behind is Brett? About a minute 20.
Yeah, he's watching on VIX.
Minute 20.
For the 214 of you here now, make sure you like, subscribe, share it with your grandma. Give your stepsister a kiss from me.
Untouchables 96 says Josh Sargent is the best U.S. striker. I can't agree more.
And we not from outside the box. Unfortunately, whoever took it kicked it straight to Matt Freeze. This has been totally unacceptable. This is like a track meet where they're winning a lot of the track races.
Sparkle Duck says once the anchor port guy quit, I couldn't go on anymore. Oh, nice
Really?
save, Freeze.
I have his phone number if you want to call him. Sam,
Thank you. I was spacing his name there.
I got his phone number. Giving a call would help you feel better.
Sparkle Duck says he was the best target for my call-in trolls. Hey man, we've had a couple call-in calls too, man.
Yeah,
Call-in
you
shows.
missed. We've done 2 or 3 call-in shows. Probably do about 1 a month is what we will do these days. But mostly when it gets slow.
Yeah.
Because otherwise there's too much to cover.
Silly seasons and international windows are just a no-go for call-in shows.
Yeah. All right, we're once again stuck in our final third. We're coming out with a good pass from Luna up to Berhalter. Berhalter out wide to Freeman, who couldn't make a 2-foot fucking pass to Tillman. Holy shit. What the fuck is going on here? Out to Ream. Ream back to Richards. I mean, we're looking like we're on our back foot here. Richards is going to pound it up the field. This time to Berhalter. Wait till you see Freeman miss Tillman. Making a 4-foot pass.
Bukotic says Sam was bullied off the internet. No. Where's the other part here? His crime was liking the pirate. No. Yeah, he liked Jesus. I
don't think he was bullied off though.
I mean, he was definitely bullied in the sense that a lot of people were saying like he was more of a fence center, more milk toast. That's not really taking a stance one way or another, which is the fans' right to say, of course. But I didn't believe that either. So
yeah,
I liked Sam. We had him on a couple of times. I've always enjoyed our show. He came on and enjoyed some nice bourbon with us. It's great shows.
I wouldn't let that hurt my feelings, though. Who cares?
Yeah.
I mean, I remember we had him on the CONCACAF or whatever show with Pete, and maybe Pete and I ganged up on him a little, but I didn't ever sense that was his problem, though. I don't know. Maybe it was. Maybe he didn't like the criticism. I don't know. I haven't talked to Sam for a good while, actually.
Boomar says Sam had the best set of any of the guys. I agree. This set was legit, man. He spent some time and money on his get up.
Plus,
he was running
his own businesses too. A couple of them.
Chris Gary says Sam's a good guy, a bit sensitive.
Maybe, yeah, I've heard that. Some people others say that he was, but Garen Tesla is high pressuring us, and we have no idea how to play it that way. Oh, Lou, you mean Guatemala's high pressuring us? Yeah, dude, they've been dominating the last 20 minutes of the game. This has been, frankly, an embarrassing to start out as hot as we did, and then to play the last 20 minutes like complete garbage trash, which is what that was. Not good. Yes, Johnny.
So, Lou, I don't know if that was just fat fingering a text message here, or if you've been having one too many beverages and that's you slurring words together.
I love it. I guarantee you it's high pressure to get, and we ain't no idea how to play that way. That's how I remember. Think of a drunk Lou Coutry.
Spell check screwed me.
What word? The first word isn't even a word. Spell check.
Autocorrect, or I mean, they really fucked you up. Guatemala went to Garantisla.
What the hell? That's not even a word. What's a Garantisla? I'm gonna start using.
Love you, bro. Love you, bro. No worries.
I Garantisla that they're gonna win the game. Oh, that's good. That's good, Lou. Good, Lou. Good stuff. All right, so yeah, it's halftime. I already went on my rant there. That last 20 minutes was horrific. It really was. It really was. Like, I don't know what we're fucking doing, but in a track meet, we should be kicking these guys' ass. But instead, we're taking a whole fucking shitload of pressure in our box. They've had multiple shots.
There we are.
We're on life support before this next goal goes in. We've had numerous bad passes. Freeman, a loss in the back as well. It's a bad pass.
I got to say, this matchup, we're not necessarily going down the Luna Arfston side as much. We're,
not as much.
We're kind of moving around. And if anything, we're down the Freeman and Berhalter side more.
Yeah, we haven't really said Arson's name that much as we did in the last two games. It was Arson and Arson all the time.
Hell, I think the only time I mentioned Arson's name was when he lost his man in the box for that header. Not saying that he hasn't been playing fine or bad or anything like that. I'm just saying the only time I really mentioned his name was that one play.
They're not playing through him. The play of the match really was Tillman's cross ball all the way to the overside to an open Luna who went straight into attack mode, juked one player, and scored a goal from outside the box. That was a beauty. But Freeman has been bad. Ream's been a little exposed speed-wise in this game. Arson's been quiet. Luca De La Torre's getting pushed around a lot. Made a couple bad passes.
Edgar Castillo says Freeman has to go. Worse than Arson today.
Yes, he's been probably one of the weakest players. Berhalter's been okay, and his set piece was really good. I don't really have too much to bitch about him yet. Aguiman been up and down, had some good moments, then had some ineffective moments, had some falling down moments, had a really bad couple of passes moments. But, you know, he's had some good moments too. You'd like the good moments to outnumber the bad moments. That's what you're looking for here.
That's ideal.
Interesting. I didn't get those vibes from Jake other than his recent video. Oh, they must be talking about Jake. What's Landau?
Yeah. I think he's referring to this.
Raj hired him, and he got on a high horse and tried to shit on the straight red card. Well, me specifically and Pete.
You and Pete, yeah.
Yep. Even though we ended up being right, but hey, don't listen to us. What will we know? We're just basement
below the basement journalists.
Below the basement journalists. Well, to be fair to Pete, he's not a journalist and never was. However, calling me that is bullshit. Since I did it for 15 fucking plus years. Suck my dick, Jake. All right.
Colin tweeting Colin here. It's Inception if I've ever seen it.
Chris Brady, once again, is not dressed. Well, he needs to put some clothes on then. Because I don't think they should allow him on the sideline if he's not going to wear clothes. That's not cool.
I mean, is he, I haven't looked yet, but is he injured or something? Or
foot herpes.
Foot herpes.
Foot herpes.
All right. Here's so slow. There's so many things going on at once here. Okay. So we kind of touched base on this already, but
Transfer news, transfer news. Who's getting mounted on transfer news? Who's getting ogled on transfer news? Transfer news. Everyone loves that transfer news, but me. Whatever.
Even flow. All right. Eunice Musa to Indy 11. We take it. We would take it.
Yeah, that was in response to text saying I want to make up an absurd fake U.S. men's national team transfer rumor and see if anyone in the mainstream media bites. Of course, he's referring to this rumor right here.
Sebastian Berhalter to Bayern Munich. Deal now very close. Like, let me ask you this, Brett. You are hired by DAZN to cover the Club World Cup. You come across this. This is the piece that he read. And you're not suspicious of it at all. And you announce it on national television that Bayern is interested in Seb Berhalter. Come on. Personal terms fully agreed. Just final details.
The Bollock type.
I mean, this has got to, that guy, whoever he is, they need to sit him down and say, listen, dude, it's Twitter. You just got super yanked and you got jizzed on. And so now you need to go out there and say, listen, somebody tricked me. I'm not very smart. I'm not a smart guy. And I bit, and I'm sorry I said that on national TV. So anyhow, we're not going to get that. But can you imagine being paid to work and cover soccer and you're that gullible? That's unbelievable.
Right. All right, Derek, I'm done with these fake rumors. Let's move on to a real rumor here.
Okay. Oh, yeah. This kid is a good-looking kid, too. He's a good-looking kid. Look at the form.
FCFK.
Yep. Football Club Fort Knox.
Yeah.
Anyhow, this 15-year-old kid here, Barcelona's tracking him. Sounds like he might move. The only problem, Brett, is he's half German, and there are rumors that the German U17s are after this 15-year-old kid.
Makes sense.
So we got to make sure either hey, we got to let him go if that's what he was interested in doing. But even though he grew up in Germany until he was like 5, right? And then he moved away and then he moved back. But he spent most of his years, I think, we add him up, I think in the US of A. So I don't think we have too much to worry about. But, people like to speculate already and say this kid's definitely going to go play for Germany. Yep.
I probably want to know how the image was quality is so sharp.
It's called AI, my friend.
We have Placata saying, damn, Derek aged like milk.
Man, that's not very nice. I am 53 years old, brother. Let's see what you guys all look like at 53. Cocksuckers. All right.
Oh, man. And apparently some people are saying it's quote-unquote ludicrous.
Yeah, obviously called out immediately by Tact. This is a ludicrous thing. He doesn't really think that this kid's going to go to Barcelona. It's just rumors. Mm-hmm. And, I don't know how you find a kid in the middle of Kentucky like that if you're Barcelona anyhow. So,
I got to say, the obviously the time period itself and everything like this, but the kit you're wearing screams 80s soccer.
Yeah, I know.
I got to tell you, I would love it if it went back to it.
I do too. I like the old Adidas stripes, and I thought they were classic.
Clean and everything.
Yep. Now, the FK, I think they can work on that a little bit.
Oh, sure. There can be some changes here, no doubt.
The FK needs to be a logo, not just like Fort Knox on it.
I will say during the rendition here, the Adidas logo does get fucked up, man.
Yeah, it does.
It looks like a bird of some kind.
They're not sure what it was, so they just made it into something else.
Jack Kurtz for $5 says that last 15 minutes was so bad I stopped watching and built a pirate ship on Minecraft for myself.
Well done, Chad. Well, it was bad. He's not exaggerating. That last 15/20, bad. Really bad. And if it continues, we will get scored on eventually.
Eventually, yeah.
Wexy Games for $2. Breaking news, Aaron Long to Real Madrid confirmed.
Oh, sweet.
Hey, just go post that up on DAZN somewhere, then on their Twitter page. They'll fall for it. Gullible fuck.
So apparently, Manchester United have made an offer, have offered one of Douglas Luiz, Vlahovic, and Tim Ream in a swap deal for Jadon Sancho.
Tim Weah.
Yeah.
You said Tim Ream.
Oh, Tim Weah. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Wait. So hold on. So Manchester said, "Hey, we'll take either Luiz, Vlahovic, or Weah, and you can take Sancho."
Well, they don't want Sancho. They'll give him away for a bag of chips at this point.
Offered one of that. Yeah. So United might get Weah in place for Sancho or Vlahovic or Luiz. Am I reading that correctly?
Yep.
Okay.
Listen, a lot of this is the way Manchester United's manager wants to play, and some of those guys just don't fit in. And Jadon Sancho just been kind of a headache in the locker room. So there you go. Sources.
Eldon Hassick says for $2, Barfston to Barca.
I'll be joining that young kid, Derek Ritchie.
Yeah.
Sources: Portsmouth want to sign American winger Griffin Yao from Westerlo. No official bid yet, but would expect one. Okay, so everybody's going to the EFL now, I guess.
Man, DC United has a 35% sell-on clause too.
That's a chunk.
That's a chunk. I agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
But somebody else mentioned that everybody's going to the championship. Somebody else mentioned this on Twitter, saying, I think U.S. Soccer's goal is to have at least one American player on each EFL side. So that way we're guaranteed to have at least 3 players in the EPL at all times.
Well, they better start working on it because they need more. They haven't covered but half the team so far.
Yeah.
And some of them are leaving, right? Like Sargent. So.
All right. This isn't transfer news by any means, but Gaga Slonina is under consideration to be the 3rd choice behind Sanchez and Jorgensen.
It's the most useless fucking report I've ever read in my life.
But he could still be loaned out, Derek.
I mean, he could be 3rd choice, but he could be loaned out. Oh, wait.
One of the two.
He could be sold as well. Those are all the 3 things that can happen to him. No shit.
I'm predicting one of those 3 things happening indeed, yes.
Like, any idiot can make this post because obviously those are the only things that can happen. All right.
Yeah. All right.
Can we all take a serious moment? Says Merkel Duck to ask if Derek will ever get another pet. I'm not going to. And the reason is it's too limiting, right? I don't have, like back in the day when Nick was in high school, he could come home from school while I was at work and take care of the dog, take him out, blah, 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 before I got back. And so I take him out in the morning. If I was lucky, I was able to get home during lunch and take him out again. Listen, it's not fair to the dog to just have him sit in a house all by himself. And now that Nick is a grown man and both my sons are gone, I'm here by myself. And I'm not going to leave any little dog here all by itself. Sorry, I can't do it. And I'm not getting a cat because I really don't want a smelly, stinky box in my house. All right. And I love cats, but I can't get one. All right. I've got plenty of things to do. I love the freedom of being able to get up just like we will in September and go watch a U.S. men's national team game. Okay. And I don't have to worry about who's taking care of my dogs or my dog in that case. And I love Gizmo. Don't get me wrong. That was my brother. Like we were attached at the hip, but it was extremely limited my life choices.
Well, and
I was able to do.
Living the solo life in an apartment complex. I mean, you don't know what's happening when you leave. I mean, the dog would be fine at the house for an extended period of time, no problems. But you don't know if the dog is sitting there barking for 6 of the 8 hours, and your neighbors are going, "What the fuck?" You know?
Yeah, right.
So I mean, it's a bit different situation that you're into, and
Brett, it's a suite, by the way.
That's pretty sweet, Derek.
Just kidding.
It's pretty sweet. Patrick Argumon's latest, per sources, I don't know if we covered this last show or not, but Derby's offering $8 million plus add-ons, but no deal agreed.
So
if you're Clint, are you accepting an $8 million plus add-ons?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm accepting it tomorrow, which makes me wonder because it says DCFC confident and requested to book medical, but Clit said no. Like, who's putting this out? Who's feeding this to Tom? Is it Aguiman's agent? By the way, the game started again.
Okay.
Because this is the kind of thing agents do.
Like, Derek, I need you to tell me what time it is real quick on yours.
45, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59,
Well,
46.
Tell me when you get to 49. Tell me when you get to 49. Then I can continue the time.
Okay, fair enough. All right. Well, we start off where we left off. It's Guatemala on the attack. Guatemala shot, blocked by Richards. Guatemala kicking it around. They get the rebound. Trying to find a gap here. Playing it out wide right.
Real quick, Derek.
With Luna.
When you get it down, in a second, let me know.
I'm nowhere near it. Nowhere near it. I'm at 46-36.
No. When you get a second, let me know. To pause for a second.
Oh,
because I want to bring up one more Yanks or transfer news real quick.
Okay. Well, I mean,
it doesn't require me to change anything. I'm just going to say it out loud. So as long as there's nothing happening right now.
Right now, Guatemala are on the attack. So
Emil Sprux, who's an 07, recently signed with Supernova in the Latvia First Division. The reason I wanted to bring this up is because somebody quote tweeted and said, "Latvia? We're not talking about Latvia and Luxembourg." And then somebody responded to them going, "Well, he's signed with the team in Latvia because he's a dual nat and he is Latvia heritage,
half Latvian."
So it was kind of funny.
That is so.
We're at time.
Nobody's talking about Latvia or Luxembourg, dumbass.
Where are you at time?
I'm still at 47.
Okay. Julian Vivas for 499 says, "What do you guys think of Jake Ratzlaff transferring from BYU because he broke the honor code?" Sorry for not asking a soccer question.
Do you know what this is about?
No idea. I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't either.
Jake.
All right. Free kick, Berhalter into the box, taken by the Guatemalan keeper. He's looking to get it out quick for a counter. He's accomplished it, and we have to foul. No foul. No foul. All right, this game's getting really physical.
So it looks like he's leaving BYU because of a rape claim, but the rape claim got dismissed. But he's still leaving.
But
real quick. What minute are you at?
48-31.
Okay, go on what you're saying though.
Yeah, I don't know all the details, and I don't want to get in any trouble talking about something I know nothing dick about. You know, if he's been cleared, and there are no charges, and he wasn't charged.
So the honor code, I'm assuming, has something to do with rape. Of course,
no,
you're not allowed to do such a thing.
No, premarital sex at BYU is frowned upon as well.
Oh,
so he's at least done that much. Now, if it were consensual or not, doesn't really make much difference. It's a Mormon school.
I'm really shocked at that. Yeah. Keeping up. Are we getting close to 49-55?
We are. I've got my eyeballs on it.
All right.
Once
I start the clock, I'm going to go upstairs and make another drink real quick.
Well, we're about 30 seconds away from that.
Oh, nice.
49-30.
So people are saying it's the Mormon honor code.
Yes. Well, how did I know that? I know nothing about the story, but I was already telling you. Yeah. You're not supposed to be doing the nasty at BYU. Mormons aren't supposed to be. All right, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55. Bang.
Okay.
All right.
We on par. I'll be back in just a minute or two.
All right. I got to tell you, this half is still a sprint off here. Still crazy back and forth. Luca De La Torre gets tackled. I think that's a corner kick, but I'm not sure if it bounced off of Luca De La Torre, who wants a foul. Aaron Herrera, former U.S. men's national team player, is the one who tackled him. I don't think it's a call. We'll see. Aaron Herrera really making himself to be a pain in the ass in this game so far. All right. Gowns warming up. Huh. I have not seen that yet. That is curious. Guatemala kicking around the horn in the back on the defensive end. They make a long ball through. Looking long. Nice defense there by Arson. Up to Luna. Luna. It squeaks through somehow to Aguiman, but he can't chase it down. All right. All right, Guatemala back to kicking around the horn. No one's talking about Latvia or Luxembourg, dumbass. Exactly. Thank you, Anthony. Tim Howard has a British accent. Does he? I've never noticed that. Brett left to wax the dolphin. You know it. You know it. He went to go make another drink as well while he's waxing the dolphin. He's either shitting, peeing, or yanking it. Those are the options. Well, he did say he's going to leave to make another drink. But okay. I think there are more options to that. Anyhow, Ream out wide to Arson. Arson picks it up. He's 1-on-1. He plays it inside to Luca De La Torre. Outside to Arson. Arson crosses it. Inside to Aguiman, who falls down. Okay. Luca De La Torre picks up the rebound. We're going to start outside. Freeman, all the way back to Richards. Richards over to Ream. Ream will settle it and get it all the way out to Arson. Yes, there it is. Arson, 1-on-1. Almost gets stymied, then loses it. And it's on to possession for Guatemala. They're going to try to build out of the back here a little slow. Or they'll bomb it up. They don't mind bombing it. Herrera, back to center back over to the next center back. All right, Guatemala with possession in their own end. This is a little bit longer of a break than Brett usually takes, so he might be yanking it. He might be waxing the dolphin. All right, long ball by Guatemala goes out of bounds. Oh, yes, Tourette's. Yes, he does have, not Brett, but Tim Howard. His Tourette's doesn't seem to affect him much anymore. All right, Aguiman building through midfield. Tillman with a great through ball to Luna. Luna loses it. It was a one-on-one duel there. Guatemalan defender came away with it. Big pressure from Aguiman in the corner on Aaron Herrera, and he gets called for the foul.
Sparkle Duck says Brett has Tourette.
We were talking about Tim Howard. Tim Howard.
Shady
Brett used to have Tourette.
Now I just say fuck enough that nobody can tell.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck. Why is it always why is it the go-to for Tourette's always like, I guess it's not always like that, let me rephrase that, I guess, but it's always like some dirty word that you shouldn't say in public.
Yeah, that is the thing with Tourette's.
Sometimes Tourette's just, ticks and noises too, but I feel like whenever it's words, it's always like, fuck, cunt,
Yeah, cunt, suck it. All right. While you're gone, it's been back and forth like crazy. Somebody's getting a yellow card. Who's that? Luca De La Torre. Yep. Luca De La Torre has a skinny, fat body. It's interesting. Okay, in
You
our
ever run
end,
skinny fat before?
I guess. I don't know.
It's where you have like skinny arms, skinny legs, but maybe you have like a little beer belly thing
Nah,
going on
he's
there.
not, he doesn't have a beer belly.
No, he doesn't have a beer belly, but he might not necessarily be rocking a six pack. Maybe he's just got a flat tum. Who knows?
No, De La Torre looks pretty good with his shirt off. Yeah.
Hey.
All right, Guatemala on the attack. And it's lobbed in. It's supposed to be a cross, but it went straight to Freeze. Again, this hasn't really gotten that much better the second half. Richards trying to play out of the back to Luca De La Torre, who gives the ball away, or somebody did. Shot wide. Not a very good shot, but Freeze touched it, so it's a corner kick. What the fuck are we doing here? Adams lost that, but it was not. It was a hospital ball to him.
De La Torre, that was a dumb foul for the yellow card, by the way. There's plenty of they weren't going to be on a break or anything.
Adams yelling at whoever passed that to him. Was that Richards? You'll be able to tell me in a minute. Here comes the corner. It's a set play to the top of the box. It didn't work. Ball cleared by USA. All right. Guatemala all the way back to their own end. They move forward. Bad pass by Guatemala. Right out of bounds. Looks like Aronson's coming in. He's prepping. Poach is talking to him. He's licking his ear.
Brendan?
Yeah.
Okay.
Certainly you wouldn't think we'd play Paxton.
We have to specify that. We have to specify.
Yeah. Who's coming out? It looks like De La Torre. Yellow card thing.
It could be De La Torre, and then Sebastian goes and plays with Adams at that point.
Well, you don't want to risk that yellow card he's got.
Exactly. I mean, you have to get it. If you end up getting it, why? Oh, it was a touch. Never mind. I was like, why is he going for that again? But
have you got to the fuck up yet?
Because he had that Freeze had that issue last game where, I just missed it. I mean, I just saw it just happened.
All right.
Adams was throwing his hand up in the air, so I imagine it included him.
Yes. No, he was not happy with that hospital ball. All right. Adams out wide to Freeman. Freeman, really not a whole lot of place to go, so he's trying to dribble it inside, but he gets fouled on the way there. So that'll count for something. We should get some guys in the box and see if we can't get a good cross in. Tolkien and others warming up on the sideline, but not out of dress yet.
There's something you mentioned here with Poach's lack of subs as a whole until the very, 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 very end of the game. Some of these players, I'm sure, are just going to start getting gassed and they're getting knocked and stuff like that. You'd almost think that he'd want to make a sub at some point soon, besides just Aronson.
I mean, the game is scary on a ledge right now.
I mean, Agumon is coasting around. I mean, mind you, when we get up there and he's not on an island by himself, I'm sure he'll be fine and he'll perk up. But Luca De La Torre is the only other weakness outside of our backs. The big question with our backs is that who bringing in for the replacement there? Bringing Tolkien. Yeah. That's about it.
Tolkien's your only option. No.
I know, that's my point, right?
Yeah, I'm not bringing in Hariel. All right, out wide to Arson on the attack, but he gets it into Luna. Luna with the tap pass to Agumon. Agumon dribbling around, gets it all the way back to Tillman. Tillman, nah, he slows it down. Gets it out to Berhalter. Berhalter outside to Freeman. Freeman with the tippy-tacky ticket back to Berhalter, who crankolas one. And it bounces off a Guatemalan and goes out of bounds.
Adams is playing? Yeah, I mean, outside a handful of tackles. I mean, this has been a lot of us being like, oh, look at this play by this person. Look at this play by this person.
Man, Sparkle must have been gone for a while. If he's surprised that Adams is playing. Yeah, he's been playing.
Yeah, I mean, he's been out of commission since Sam left.
Yeah, that's a long time to be gone.
They showed Tolkien there for a bit. Do you think Tolkien's coming in?
Nah, he's not undressed. Yeah, he's not naked. Sorry. All right, inside to Berhalter. Berhalter fighting for it inside the box.
Wasn't
Freeman crosses. Agamon header save. Guatemalan keeper was right to him, but he still had to tap it over the bar. But it was straight at the keeper. I mean, straight at him, literally. It was had some speed on it though, so the dude had to hit it over the bar. But even Agamon's making that face like, God damn, anywhere but there. Anywhere but there was a goal. It was. It would have been. All right, corner kick USA. I am going to grab another beer. I will be right back.
Roger.
Oh. Corner kick
like
up.
to add the commentary, but I have no commentary to add because I'm still a minute 20 behind.
Bounces around the box.
Wait a second. Derek, what minute are you at?
61:46. Yeah, you're right.
Oh, okay, never mind.
That's correct.
Nope.
But it's
I was doing dumb math, and I looked at the 1 hour marker on stopwatch, and was like, "Oh, look, I'm right there next to us." I'm like, "No, I'm still a minute fucking off, guys."
It's weird because it's been pausing intermittently too. Like it'll freeze up.
Yeah, my feed's been freezing up too. Yeah.
Yeah, you froze up a couple times for a short amount of time. You're like,
Yep, I was legitimately right at the keeper.
little
I think it's just
offside.
me stopping talking when you start talking about a play that's going on. Because there are plenty of times where I'll start talking like, "Oh, when Agumon does this," and it's like, "Oh, just shut up right now."
Aronson translates to no skill in many languages, says Untouchables. Most of that lack of skill comes in the final third for sure.
Yeah.
Although he has scored a goal in this window. I guess we can say that. All right,
He
Guatemala.
didn't
on
score
the
against
attack.
Trinidad and Tobago, though.
Yep. Cross from Guatemala up in the air. Like if Guatemala had anybody over 6 foot, this would be dangerous.
Tillman went up for a ball. It was going to be a chest ball at best, and he completely whiffed it.
They've been knocking Tillman over quite a bit. They just knocked him over again, by the way. All right. New beer. Never tried it. We're going to be trying.
Like a dip at the shoulder and then knock the guy over completely.
This is Taxman. It's part of their qualified series. It's a quad. Barrel-aged Belgian-style quad made in port barrels. Okay. My eyes are so bad. I'm having a hard
missing
time.
something because everybody's going laughing my ass off. What am I seeing? Oh, Lord.
Oh, it's a through ball to
So
Agumon.
bad. LOL. Oh, my God.
Through ball to Agumon,
Terrible.
1-on-1
For fuck's
keeper.
sake. Get Bambi off the pitch.
He missed it. And, oh, Jesus. Yeah, that was bad. 10% alcohol by volume. Pretty good. Now, does it taste like shit? I'm about to tell you, people.
And is a potable.
I mean, Taxman's generally really good until they start fucking around. Like their bourbon barrel ones were gross. It was like way too much bourbon.
Once they start adding fruit, man. Once they start adding fruit to it, it's like once they start adding fruit, that's when they fuck up.
Let me see about this port.
Derek, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Derek, can you hear me?
I'm here.
Okay. For whatever reason, my screen stopped sharing, and then it was weird.
Yeah, there's some issues going on.
Oh. The you bitch, you gotta be kidding me. The stopwatch timed out, and what a waste of fucking space. All right,
Yeah.
we're not showing a stopwatch. God damn, you gotta be fucking kidding me.
All right. Still 2-0. We are 55-35 into this, or 65. I can't tell. My eyes are so bad. 65-41 is where we are right now. United States has possession. That's Arson out wide. All the way back to Freeman to Richardson.
God damn, that was horrible by Aguiman's blunder here.
Yep. Ream back to Freeze to Richards to Freeze. Oh, yeah, this is what we want to do. Fuck around on our end and find out.
Chris Rowland for $4.99 says, I'm contributing this $5 towards starting a fund to buy Derek a bigger TV so he can correctly identify the players on the other side of the field.
Dude, this is a fucking giant-ass TV. My eyes suck. I don't know. I need to wear glasses.
Or chat,
Agumon all the way in.
Chat says, or some readers.
Yeah, I can't see close up and I can't see far away, although my eyes have improved far away. They really have. Like, I couldn't see shit far away. Now I can. Better. But I'm only, if I had to guess, I am 10 yards from the TV. Maybe 9 or 10 yards from the TV. It is a big-ass screen, but...
Oh, wait. You're saying you're sitting 10 yards away from your screen?
Correct.
Well, no shit, you can't see people.
Yeah.
What the fuck's the matter with you?
This is where I always sit to do the show, dude.
Good Lord.
It's where I always sit to do the show. So, like, we didn't used to do.
I'm looking at my basement right now, going, okay, 10 yards. Are you serious?
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to tell who anybody was on that screen.
Well, this is a big fucking TV, so.
Well, it doesn't fucking matter. It could be the entire fucking wall. Fucking duck goes 30 fucking feet, Derek. What the fuck, dude?
Maybe I'm exaggerating.
How big is your fucking room, Derek?
It's pretty big.
Oh man, maybe you do need some readers if you're sitting 30 feet from your TV.
I mean, I'd say this is about 10 yards.
I'm surprised you can read the fucking clock whenever we sync up.
6, 9, yeah, it's at least 10 yards, yeah.
It's fucking nuts. He's actually sitting. He's sitting in his bedroom, looking at the TV in the living room right now.
No, I'm in the living room. And well, I'm sitting in the dining room, and the TV's in the living room. So I'm actually in a different room. Believe it or not.
It's an open floor plan though.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it's open.
Chris Rowland says 30 feet need binoculars.
I don't know. It's not that bad, guys.
I just can't pick the difference between Luna and Agumon, apparently.
No, Luna's easy. Ajumon's pretty easy, too.
Oh,
the ones I'm having trouble with are like Berhalter and Luca De La Torre. Having trouble telling them apart sometimes.
Chris Gary says, will there be a show tomorrow? Assuming we win this, no.
If we win, no.
If we lose, yeah, we'll have a lot to talk about tomorrow.
Yeah.
No, we're gonna do an after show tonight, and then we'll cover the game on Sunday.
Well, we're not really doing another new show. We're just gonna stay here and talk about it.
Yeah. Our after show just continues after the game's over.
Yeah. Post game.
Yeah.
Post game here. Yep. All right, for the 272 of you here now, make sure you like, subscribe, share it with your grandma. Reem tries to get a through ball into Luna in our own end. We do lose possession, but it goes out of bounds. Listen, folks, this is not – since the 2 goals, this has been pretty bad. It's been pretty bad. I know that Luca De La Torre is not on the field anymore. Brother, I was talking about earlier, I couldn't always tell if it was Berhalter, even though I know which side Berhalter was on compared to Luca De La Torre. I wasn't 100% sure, but generally I've been able to tell. I've been better at this game than others, that's for sure. Because I'm kind of used to where everybody is and the way we play, so I know who's receiving it. Remember the old CRT TVs and all players were blurry sticks running through the screen? Yeah, I do.
Occasionally get the little zigzag as it's refreshing.
Yep. We're on a water break here at 7:42. United States barely holding on to a 2-0 win. If Guatemalans can figure out the way to get a goal, they can make this really interesting going into the end of the game. I do have to say, this has not been good. The first 20 minutes were good. The last 20 minutes of the first half have been garbage, and this has just been tick for tack, back and forth. You really, watching this game, you couldn't really tell who had the upper hand, honestly.
Zelos Newton. I don't know if it's Zelos or Zelos. How would you say that, Derek?
Zelos Newton.
Zelos. Okay. Guatemala's poor shot conversion and Freeze's saves are keeping this a clean sheet.
Yeah, they've been not very good at getting the ball on target. And when they do, it's straight to Freeze.
Yeah. Or he makes a nice little save. There's a couple of saves in there. That was pretty
solid.
solid.
there was one. I thought that was pretty good.
Right there in traffic, too, man. There were two Guatemalans right next to him, too. And he still
He had to be brave for that one.
Yeah.
But mostly, it's just been bad shooting by Guatemala. Yeah, our defense has been shaky.
Well, Derek, I don't know if everybody in the chat managed to go and watch the clip that Derek and I posted out on Tuesday. It was supposed to be a short, 15, 20-minute video, and ended up being like 55 minutes.
Yeah.
But the question of whether or not Poach has a new A team should never be more apparent now than ever. Does he have a new A team?
No, he doesn't.
It's the same A team, and maybe 3 players on this team that weren't part of the A team to begin with. I'm taking Ream and I'm taking Richards out of the equation. They're already on there.
Yes.
But Freeze, Luna, and Tillman. Those 3 are the only ones who solidified anything.
Yes. They're definitely going on to the A team after this.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, I'll be honest with you. I think Berhalter might be sneaking his way on here too.
He could. I mean, that midfield's open. I mean, it can be open. We have some talented players, but I mean, who Poach might like and
prefer.
Hell, you know what? I'd be fine with him being included in the 26 just for his potential set piece stakes.
The guy that's going to lose out from this is someone like Tessman, maybe.
Tessman, yep.
So
I was going to say
we'll
Tessman,
see going forward, but somebody in Europe's going to be left out. If Berhalter makes this.
Kevin Brenner says 55 minutes is shorts for you guys.
It is pretty short. By the way, Guatemala just with another attack, another shot, this time out wide. Freeman getting burned, like his drawers on the ground burned, misses a tackle. Aaron So over there trying to get help him out. He got burned. The shot goes between Freeman's legs. It's not a great shot, but it was on goal, and Freeze had to scoop it.
You know, I'm watching the play, obviously, 20 minutes prior to you talking about this. But I mean, the issue is that you have a couple players who are just putting forth individual qualities. I just saw Tillman get knocked down to the ground and still dribble 3 guys before laying it off to Luna, who then made the pass out, who opened up the pitch. You know, it's a couple of individual performances mixed with a bunch of okay.
Right. Well, I just watched another and you'll see it soon. Yeah. Arson takes the ball all the way up the field, taps it to Aguiman. Aguiman taps it back to Arson, who then gives it away. I don't know what that's about.
Dude, Tillman he's checking back on that defense, man. He's putting in the work.
Yes, he is working his balls off.
I appreciate the shit out of that, man.
Yep. In fact, right now, he's already come back all the way in the midfield to receive from Ream. But he has to kick it back to Freeze because there's nothing there. Freeze just blasts up the field here. Who is that to? I'm not quite sure. It was Freeman, who's still way up the pitch. Okay. It's now Guatemala with the ball.
Yeah, I'm taking that back also because I mentioned just Tillman and Luna and Freeze. I did say the 3. Never mind. I was going to say Freeze definitely has worked his way in there.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
Oh, great through ball by Guatemala. Up the wing. Arson playing defense. Cleared. Moved to the middle. Middle's a chip in. Arson's following his player. The player does get his head on, but he can't get a solid header on it. It goes out of bounds, wide left of the goal. People, like, okay, we're talking about, the team's back. There's this new guys. These new guys are bringing fight. Okay, well, they're fighting, but this is fucking god awful. I am
Looks
sorry.
like Tolkien and McGlynn are coming in.
No downs? Don't want to give Aguiman a blow?
That's what Nathan's talking about. Hey, where's Downs? Is Cardoso still injured? Just too injured?
I think, you don't put in downs because I guess you're like, well, I'm bringing in guys to play defense.
But
So,
I mean,
Luna out, McGlynn in. No, Luna out. Yes, McGlynn in for it's like for like, I guess. And then who's Tolkien coming in for? Got to be Arson. Got to be.
well,
right?
I mean, just left and left, right? Yeah.
No, Adams out, Tolkien in. Okay, that's weird.
Interesting.
Adams out? Really? We're going to take Adams out. So
How's this going to work out?
I don't know. None of our backs came out. Maybe Arson moves further up the field into the midfield, and Tolkien comes in behind him. We're about to find out. Aronson, bad first touch, gave it away immediately. Wins it back, goes out of bounds. Throw in USA.
Says Seb at 6.
Okay. Really? Okay. I can see that. Somebody's got to play Adams' role, though.
Somebody still has to play a box-to-box role in that sense, though, right?
Mm-hmm. Unless you're playing you might play a double pivot at this point just to put the game away, though. We'll see.
So is it going to be like Arson and Seb or whatever?
McGlynn?
Oh, yeah. There we go. Yeah, McGlynn.
McGlynn and Berhalter?
And then what you just are you putting Sebastian up in the Luna role then? I mean, he's practically there anyways.
I guess we'll find out here in a second. Ball up to Aguiman, one-on-one with the defender. He does hold it up. And he's got nobody to pass it to. So he ends up giving it away to, oh my God, he gave it away to Guatemala on a breakaway. Oh boy. Seb gets back to clean that up, dude. But we had to foul to do it. Guatemala. Cross. Over the head of Tolkien. Or no, who was that? McGlynn. Out of bounds. Throwing Guatemala. Apparently, McGlynn got a head on that. Guatemala. Cross. Inside the box. Cleared away by Ream. Recovered by Guatemala. Guatemala at midfield. Rebuilding the situation here. Get it out wide. Tolkien defending. They bring it inside. They're on the attack. They're dominating the ball. They're dominating possession. Down the left side now. Our left side. They work it back out. Looking inside. Tiki-taka. Back and forth. Into our box. Gets past. Goal, Guatemala. Boy, that one was coming for some time, babies. That was coming for some time. We have been a fucking joke for a good fucking 40 minutes now. Plus. What is wrong with us?
My God, Patrick, what the fuck?
They look like the better team. Fucking Christ. Let yourself get beat with a team whose best player is from the USL. All right, well, drink to me, drink to my health. You know I don't drink anymore. Oh, no. Well, that's exactly the hole where Adams would have been. Oh, good point. It was the hole where Adams would have been. Well, it's been a long time coming, folks. We've been talking about it for the whole second half, and the whole 15 minutes of the first half. And if Poach is somehow surprised by this shit, and it's not for a lack of trying, I can tell you that. They're outplaying us. They are being out coached by us, out managed.
Yeah, I was just watching the build up on that goal right there. And man, we are just so flat footed and assed at this point.
Yep.
Because Poach has played more or less the same 11 all fucking tournament.
Well,
minus
and
a couple players here or there.
Remember, we used to always bust on Berhalter's balls because the patterns of play were so predictable?
Yeah.
Same shit. Same shit. Patterns of play. The only monkey wrench thrown in there is the fact that we've been blasting it to Agumon the whole game. Right? To get past their high line. Outside of that, the rest of the shit's the same. Great first 20 minutes by this team. 15 minutes, been shit since.
Yeah.
Absolute garbage. And this could be going to extra time here. But we'll see. We've got a free kick.
There's no extra time.
Or penalty case. Berhalter with the delivery into the box. Header straight to the goalkeeper. Good try by Freeman. But he headed it straight to the goalkeeper. Ream. Clearing. Tolkien. Clearing. Straight to Guatemala. Guatemala with possession.
It almost looks like Tolkien's playing the
way up
role.
way up left. It's kind of weird. He's definitely not playing left back. Well, maybe he is now. Guatemala. Inside our final third. Tiki-taka.
I mean, Arson just literally after our foul ran back to left back and Tolkien was moving up. So I think Tolkien's playing
into the box. Yep. Cleared. Cleared by Freeman. All the way back to goalkeeper, Guatemala's goalkeeper. They're going to recycle this and come back at us. Here they come. Tolkien way up the field of pressure. Beyond midfield. Ball bouncing around. Cleared by Richards. Guatemala still in possession. No internet connection, my asshole. All right, there we go. That just pops up on Fox randomly on occasion.
Yeah.
You've got no internet connection.
My stopwatch, which was running, just randomly stopped.
I hit, all I got to do as soon as it comes up is okay, and it goes right back to the game.
Yeah.
All right, free kick. Oh, it did just freeze.
You're literally telling you're telling your app, cool story, bro.
Well, now it did just go off. The game's off.
Uh-oh.
Yep.
By the time you get back on, I'm sure I'll be to that point.
What the fuck?
It looks like Downs is coming in, according to the chat. At the 82nd minute, thank goodness we went this long. Uh-oh. Zimmerman's coming in, apparently, too.
Motherfucker.
We are parking the bus.
Yes, we are.
Ashton Mook says he's going to pull a World Cup Wales PK, LOL. No. Wouldn't that be the thing, though? Like, we give up a goal, and then all of a sudden we're playing PKs, and we have, like, 7 center backs in there?
Yep. Zimmerman in. Downs in. Bunch of big, tall boys to cut these set pieces off. And crosses.
Who came out?
I don't know, because I got a fucking commercial on my television since I had to restart Fox. The Fox app. You fucking pieces of shit. Guatemala. Agumon. I mean, they're just smashing the ball all over the field.
Wilmer
right now.
Sanchez says, I saw a Guatemalan fan praying not to take out Agumon.
Could be true.
Yeah.
Yep, just trying to survive these last 5 minutes, and then 3 minutes would be my guess of extra time. So
Probably
8 minutes
that
to
makes
go.
sense.
Huh?
Probably about that makes sense.
That's the normal, unless something happened I don't remember. All right,
Outside the goal, the one goal, there hasn't really been any downtime.
Guatemala, long ball. It looks like Rubio Rubin just fell down there to try to draw a foul. He didn't get one. Zimmerman playing left back. Punches it up to Tolkien down the line. It's really nice when you bring Downs on to just basically play the last seconds of the game. Did Ajuman come out or not? I think he might.
I don't know. I'm waiting for them to show who's going off on the pitch. I mean, I can't see shit. They don't post this stuff anymore.
Ajuman is on the defense now.
Oh, interesting.
He's playing like a midfield position. Downs is pushed all the way forward.
Downs is up top, yeah.
It's quite weird.
Where's Patrick at? I don't see Patrick on the pitch.
Yeah, he's still on there, or unless that's Tillman. It's hard. They both have the tape on the wrists.
Maybe if you were about 10 feet closer to your TV, Derek.
It wouldn't help. It really wouldn't help.
I think Aguiman's off.
Oh,
yeah, Aguiman came off.
Okay. Ream steps up to make a play. Did he get fouled or did he just hurt himself? It doesn't look great. This has been straight up garbage, dude. This has been garbage. What a horrible game.
Yeah.
I know we're winning, guys, but can we be really honest about the last 15 of the first half and most of this half? Who's been the more dangerous team? Answer's Guatemala. Even your dog agrees. Foul on us. Free kick. Guatemala. All right. They got possession.
I'll say for as quote unquote dangerous as Guatemala's been, there's only been really a handful of times at most that I've been like, ooh, you know. I mean, we've had a number of chances where we could have scored a goal if we didn't hit it right at the goalkeeper.
They've had a couple of those too, though.
I agree. The game is open, 100%.
But dude, this game, yeah, as you say, it's fucking wide open. This is the game we should be dominating. This shouldn't be a tit for tat competition here. And you know, Guatemala's best team, as I said earlier, plays for Chattanooga or whatever. Wherever the fuck he is now. Rubio Rubin. Plays in USL.
Oh, some assholes are firing up fireworks right now. That's why the dog's going nuts.
I love it. My neighborhood, fireworks ban. Woohoo!
Well, it doesn't matter for the firework ban. They still fire them up. According to Google's stats, U.S. has still held 52% of the possession.
52? That's
52.
Pathetic. Pathetic.
We both have 83% pass accuracy. And we've only made like 30 more passes than they have. Yeah, it's really been an open game.
This is pathetic. In an open game, we should be wiping the floor with this team.
There have been 4 yellow cards for the U.S.
An open game is what we dream of. That's why we have such a good time kicking Mexico's ass up until recently. Because they play completely open against us. And we would beat them. Now look at this. This is pathetic.
Miguel, I mean, I have no problem. I'm just saying that there's somebody who's firing off fireworks at them, which is why my dog's barking. It's going to happen. I live in Indiana, and those fireworks are the entire month of July. It won't matter. I'm used to them. Dogs aren't, though. But
I do not like the fireworks. And if you think that people are firing off fireworks to express their freedom, I'd say that's probably quite rare.
America.
Most of them are firing off fireworks because they're a bunch of fucking idiots. And they're like, oh, look, burning things. Sorry, I wish it were about 4th of July and July 4 and what it really means to the country. But to most people, it just means, I get to blow shit up. And
That's
that,
more like, ooh, that's pretty.
well, yeah. And I get it for the kids. I mean, I did fireworks when my kids were young, too.
We've always lived at places where there's giant firework places around us. Like Geist has fireworks going off, so we'd always go there. But then again, we're always up in Michigan during that time period. My grandparents' house is off of one of the sister lakes.
The only problem is when dumb motherfuckers think the whole month of July is fireworks.
Fireworks.
Like my poor dog used to suffer from that shit the whole month of July. All right, they almost scored. Freeze has to tap it out of bounds. It's a corner kick, Guatemala. We got 4 minutes extra time. We're currently into 1 minute and 30 of it.
I was kind of scared there, Derek, because people are like, fuck, Jesus fucking Christ. And then all of a sudden, Freeze again. So I wasn't sure if Freeze played out a ball that resulted in a goal or if he came up big. So
here he comes. We even got the Guatemalan keeper in the box for this. Oh, fuck. That Guatemalan guy who just did, it's another corner.
Everything and the kitchen sink. It's 4 minutes, Derek, not 3 minutes. 4 minutes.
Oh my God. Watch the replay on that Freeze save, dude. That's going in. That's going in.
Newton says that Freeze really the man of the match again. Hard to take that away from Luna with the brace, you know.
Goal kick.
But
my bad.
It's hard to take it from Luna, but then again, if Freeze is coming up big, I mean that's the argument about it.
I mean, he came up big on that one.
2 of our guys slid on that play. What the fuck?
I mean, this is a clown show. They should start playing music here. Because they're winning every loose ball. Every loose ball, they are winning. Every one-on-one, they are winning.
Sparkle Duck says, man of the match, those who watched it all the way through.
Yeah. Oh, that's a foul on Tillman. Yep. Ooh, we're getting pissed that people are picking on Tillman.
Well, that's one thing I liked about last game.
Wait till you see this, man. This guy.
I think it was going to hit the post. I don't know if that was going to sneak in.
I think it's going to go in.
You know what? That would have hit the inside of the post, I think.
I think so, too.
Yeah, I think that would have snuck in.
Yep.
Great save.
Good save. Wait till you see the way they fucking hacked the hell out of Tillman here in about 45 seconds. I mean, they straight up lumberjacked him. 3 minutes.
Like I said, the one thing I liked about the Berhalter, one of the big things I liked about Berhalter's last game, against Costa Rica, was that he was in everybody's face. It's like, fuck off, guys. You're gonna hack my guy, I'm gonna hack you down. And in today's match, earlier today, he got in on a tackle on a guy and ended up rubbing his balls right over his face.
Yeah. The old here's my crotch thing.
You just got teabagged, bitch.
All right, we're down to the last few seconds here, Shirley.
Jesus.
Whistle blows. USA ekes one out. 2-1 over Guatemala. I can't believe I have to say that.
Oh, man, even Reem jumped in there and said, fuck off.
Yep.
You don't see Reem getting in on that much very often. Yeah, that was a frustration clip, man.
Salos is giving it a 6 out of 10. I can't do that, brother.
I couldn't do that, yeah.
I think it's a 4 out of 10. Best I mean,
the individual performances again, though. That's a problem. Luna would be above it. Freeze is above it. Tillman's above it.
Yes.
But aside from that, though, sketchy.
The word is sketchy. That's the word. Like, I don't feel comfortable about any of these guys defensively, in the defense, when other teams are in transition against us. I mean, it's just nervous Nelly time for us. You win the game, but you played really poorly.
David D says 5 out of 10 because we did win during regulation time.
As the U.S. wins, they are off to their
Let's check out the boys here real quick.
And as Jonathan mentioned,
Let's just finish up the seconds here.
Houston on Fox. It is the championship game, 6 p.m. Eastern. The coverage begins.
We are not going to do the Mexico game here, but I am going to be watching it. That's too much. It's too many hours of coverage for us.
Yeah,
you've already been here over 2 hours.
I'd be a slobbering mess at the end of that game because I'd have to have more bets.
Yep. Let's see what the boys say.
Some of these images that are coming our way right now. One of the big talking points clearly is going to be Diego Luna. We're going to get to that in a second. Lex.
Taylor Twellman said that it's a pro U.S. men's national team crowd. Okay, Louis. Was that? I thought I saw more Honduras or Guatemala.
I did too.
And then what we witnessed Sunday with the penalty kick win, and then what they displayed tonight. This is
Here we go.
a great moment for this group, and they have so far lived up to maybe the promise that was at the beginning of this tournament. I think the way that this particular game was crucial for this team. For them to go through this moment and bend but don't break. To a lot of cultures in Hispanic cultures, they talk about suffering, and they use that word in a much more positive way than we do when we use it.
We're suffering against Guatemala.
I was going to say it's Guatemala in the U.S.
As a team, and
stop it.
They're back in the final.
No.
And I think if Mexico goes through, I think the U.S. is going to be looking.
Mexico, Costa Rica, Panama, even Honduras. I understand. There could be some fight there. It's Guatemala in the U.S.
And ultimately, I think the way that
they're a feisty bunch. I agree, they're feisty. But we should have done better at handling that match.
They're learning more and more and more about who they are as a team, as a collective.
Ugly.
And as well. He's learning about the habits of players that he can trust. He's learning about. You heard Stu talking about the
Sparkle Duck says y'all have Lawless too. For real? We had Lawless on the show not too. I say probably about half a year or so now.
Yeah, that was a while back.
Another result. Now was it?
We had
Guatemala eliminated a 10-man team of Canada.
Are you fucking serious? Guatemala eliminated Canada on PKs after what's his face Schaffelberg got a red card. They were dominating. They were dominating that game up until the red card. So 40 minutes of the game we dominated 15 minutes of this game. That's it. Let's see what
years ago, Diego Luna was playing in the USL. For what team? For the El
Monarchs.
Paso Locomotive. What a great. We were literally coaching against him in the USL, second division in America. Today, he's pushed his team to a Gold Cup final. Incredible story. Could not be happier for that young man. As you mentioned, who could not make the Olympic team just months ago, literally. And now he's this close to sealing up a World Cup spot next summer. Plenty more on Diego Luna. Jenny Taft will have reports from the field as well. But one reminder, there still is.
I couldn't hear what Donovan said.
Luna. I'm happy for Luna too. I think he's been great. I think Tillman's been great. I think Freeze has been very reliable. But the overall play here, guys, we cannot be happy with that. That was not good enough. And for us to be, as they said, as Alexi said, suffering against Guatemala, and he put it in a positive sense.
I was about to say, though, because when you said it there, it sounded bad. But when he said it, it didn't sound bad.
No, he was thinking, hey, sometimes you just got to suffer through these games. Well, we're at home, and the best player on their team plays in USL. Are they well coached? Yeah, they're very well managed. They outmanaged us today. They played a better game, a more intuitive, a smarter game. I don't know whether to blame this on the players, although there were players that had individual bad moments, or the way we set up and the way we play, which is very predictable ball. At least it wasn't for the first 10 or 15 minutes, But after the 2 goals, we kind of fell back into a lot of bad habits. And that can't happen. And I'm sure Poach is not going to be happy with the in fact, he had his head in his hands for quite a bit of the last part of the first half and for parts of the second half. He must be thinking, what are we doing out here? You know?
Mm-hmm.
All right. 80-minute subs. Our biggest gripe about Greg, his first cycle was a refusal to use subs.
Mm-hmm.
The fuck? We were back to square one. I'm not even sure I understand the subs that came in here at the end of this game and where they went.
We were talking about it all the way to the end of the game.
It's like, where the fuck is Tolkien and why is he so far up the field? Oh, yeah, you're bringing in Zimmerman as a third center back to close out the game. Now Downs gets to play with 8 minutes left.
And we have Freeman. We have 3 center backs: Freeman, Tolkien, Arston. And you're bringing in a striker. What's he going to do? Because I think Picado was talking about well, he hasn't really done anything in the minutes given to him. What the fuck is he supposed to do this match?
Mm-hmm.
Good Lord. We had half our team were either goalkeepers or back line.
I think Down needs a run. I mean, how are we ever going to find out what he can do if he doesn't get a run?
Happen against Mexico.
No, it's not.
We're playing this 11.
It's exact same 11 again.
Nothing's changing.
I don't think anything's changing. I want to be fair to Berhalter. I didn't think he had an awful game. I thought Luca De La Torre was up and down. But I think Ream got exposed a couple times, speed-wise, and in the air once or twice, but generally was fine. Richards was
come back to this.
Okay, but
guys, Untouchables is trolling everyone. Okay, guys.
Are you both aware we won and are advancing to the final? As you probably know if you've been watching this show, we are always happy when we win, but that we got to play better than that. If we play like this against Mexico, we are going down. We are going to lose that game 3-0 at least. At least. We cannot play like this. And even while Adams was still on the pitch, even though we were keeping it scoreless, they were taking all the initiative. When we play a team like Guatemala, possession should be 60-40, 70-30, not 50-50. I bet you they had almost as many shots on goal as we did, too, or shots in general.
Yeah. I don't know. It boggles my mind when we sit there and we watch Paxton Aronson have the season of his career at Utrecht.
Mm-hmm.
And he can't fucking sniff the field.
No, he can't.
Right now. How is that possible?
I don't know. Edgar Castillo for 199. I better hear Poach criticism. Wolf, for fuck's sake. Yeah. You're not going to hear it from these guys on Fox.
No.
They have already spun this in the most positive way. Well, we won. Of course we won. But did you see how we played? Did you see how we set up? Did you see how predictable we were? I mean, it's a joke. And Tillman and Luna are the productive sparks on this team. And God help me if Berhalter was not bad. But if we don't have Luna and Tillman on this team, we are completely fucked. Completely fucked.
ZYX says shots, US 12, and Guatemala had 20.
Yeah. Didn't it feel like that the whole game? That's what it felt like.
Yeah.
Bobby
Brown. Go ahead.
Let's hope Sunday is the last time we see a few of these guys in a U.S. shirt, especially Aguiman. Hey, man, I wouldn't bet on that, Bobby. I hate to tell you this, but I do think we're going to see Aguiman for a while. I don't think he's going anywhere.
Next window's not till September, and Flo and Pepe should both be healthy at that point. So it's possible that Augie might not be in the September window at least.
I wouldn't count on that at all.
I still wouldn't count on it, yeah.
I would say we're bringing 3 strikers, and he's one of them. And I would also say
3 strikers, I'll agree, yes.
He rates him above Haji, right?
Yeah. Despite the fact that Haji had 10 minutes this window and he scored a goal.
He rates him over Downs for sure.
Yeah.
And he doesn't rate Bobby Berhalter Brian White at all. So maybe that is over from here. But is it going to get better against Korea and Japan? Depends on who shows up, who's healthy, who ends up coming to the camp.
Yeah. Well, we definitely we shouldn't, and I don't think we will see this roster in September. I think we're going to see practically a full squad A team minus a couple players, because I think he's going to bring some of these players, even beyond the three that we mentioned, the Freeze, the Till, and the Luna. I would wager that we're going to see an Agumon. I would wager we're probably going to see Barkson. I would wager it.
Oh, yeah, I would too. I would wager we may even see Freeman.
Possible.
I would wager we're going to see Berhalter.
That's true too. Possible.
So, all of you hoping this is the last time we see any of these guys? I don't think so. I really don't. And it's going to be at the cost of the Testmans of the world and other players playing in Europe right now. That's what it's going to be at the cost of.
Yeah.
It's going to be at the cost of the Aiden Morrises.
The Bucios.
The Bucios, yes. The Zendejases, if you're talking about wide players.
Strange how you just can't get a sniff.
Yep. Freeze is going to be there in September.
Yep.
He is the new number one. There's no doubt in my mind he's the new number one. They keep showing moments where Poach is rubbing his head and putting his hand through his hair and exhaling.
Man, what did I sign up for here now?
Right.
An angry American for $5 says the fact that we couldn't score after we went up by 2 is very concerning.
It's beyond the fact that we couldn't score. It was that they looked more likely to score for the rest of the game.
Well, I felt like we went from playing at 100 to pulling back to about 40.
It felt that
and
way.
At that point, Guatemala just literally just pushed forward and pushed forward and pushed forward and pushed forward and pushed forward. And we couldn't recover at that point.
Man of the match should be Luna. And if these dumb fuckers don't get this right this time, if they pick somebody else again at CONCACAF because they're fucking idiots. All right, for the 392 of you here now, make sure you like, subscribe, share it with your grandma. For all of you who endured, what was a really good first 15, 20 minutes and was very promising, turned into kind of like, fuck, who's the better team here? I want everybody to keep in mind, this is a good, well-coached and well-managed Guatemalan team, no doubt. But go look at their roster. On paper, we should still be kicking the pants off this team. This should be 3-1, 4-1, not 2-1. And they shouldn't look like they were in control of most of the game or applying better and more often applying pressure.
Isaiah Probst says they're giving it to Arson.
Here we go.
Came into this tournament where there was a lot of negativity towards this team, and there still is. I'm sure there's people that still aren't sold on whether it's Diego Luna or anybody else out there. But the sports are for the moment. They're not for being practical. They're not for being realistic. And you got to be able to celebrate these moments, and it's fun to see this team celebrate, and it's fun to see others celebrate this team in terms of what they're doing, and a lot of it is someone like Diego Luna for the way that.
Okay, listen, I'm going to celebrate Diego Luna, and if you just heard that Pollyanna shit from Lawless, I'm sorry. We've got to be realistic. We got to look at this game and go, we're supposed to be dominating and look like we were being. That's like when you show up at a party, right? You're hooking up with some chick, and you're supposed to be the dominant one, and you end up getting pegged at the end of the night. You're like, what the hell? How did this get flipped? How am I on my knees taking a giant dildo in my asshole? I was supposed to be, I paid for this service, but suddenly I am on the other end. That's what happened tonight. For the first 20 minutes of this hookup, we were in control. We were giving it our shit. And then somehow it flipped. It flipped, and we were the ones on our hands and knees with a ball in our mouth, right? Dressed in assless chaps. How did that happen?
Yeah.
And these guys are going to sit up here and be fucking Pollyanna about it. It's crazy to me.
I don't understand the take. It's like, we should be celebrating. We should be celebrating. You have performances like with Luna. We should be celebrating. Then, and then we go out there and we should be happy about Luna. I'm like, well, your take is Luna. Yes, I agree. We should be happy. He bagged a nice brace. He looked good. What about the rest of the team?
There's a bunch of other guys who did not perform tonight, however.
Yeah.
And there was a manager who didn't set this team up for success. I'm sorry. The way this is just too predictable. Everybody knows what we're going to do. And it can't be that predictable. Boy, that's some of that deep. That was Richards on the one at the goal. Well, if you watch this, Richards, he doesn't step out for that. On the
Paul Phoenix for $5 says biggest damage is it encourages players to stay in MLS rather than push their game in tougher leagues. Upcoming players see what happened to Busio, etc.
Yeah, I mean, I would hope not. And the reason I don't know if that'll be the case is because you can go to Europe and make a lot more money generally.
Maybe.
Your day-to-day salary is going to be higher.
I will tell you this much right now. If Christian Roldan went to Europe, he would not be making more money than what he's making right now.
Well, that's a really poor example. Tessman makes way more money than he ever did at FC Dallas. That's a better example.
But if Tessman were to get pulled back into MLS at this point, he'd make a lot more money now at MLS than he would in.
He would now, maybe, but Roldan's an old man. I wouldn't use him as an example.
My point is if you are a superstar in MLS is going to pay you to keep you there.
We don't have any superstars in MLS that are American.
Well, every team thinks that. Well, I mean, again, Roldan's making over $1 million with Seattle right now. They feel like he's a superstar in the sense that he makes their team better. Is he worth $1 million plus? No.
He's a solid veteran.
Yeah,
that's it. He's not a superstar in the league. The closest thing we have to superstars who are American that play in MLS are Diego Luna. Like, that's the flashy coin that we have in the bag in MLS. And you could say that guys like Berhalter and Brian White are having really good seasons, and I would totally agree with you. And that Vancouver, up until recently, was having a really good season. But in general, we don't have a lot of flashy American coins in MLS. We just don't.
Sure.
So
no, but it's MLS is known for overpaying their American talent, quite frankly.
And
if you go and look at the salaries, and you say, well, I'm going to bring up an example. Let's bring up an example here. Go and keep talking.
I was just going to say, I mean, we could talk about Jordan Morris and Roldan and a lot of the guys getting paid bigger bucks in the league, but they're also never going to Europe again. Well, Roldan never went to Europe, right?
So Brian White's 2025 contract with Vancouver, his base salary is $1 million. Could he go to Europe? Could he go to championship?
He's getting a little old for that, but yes.
Just saying. I mean,
he's 28. I think that's getting a little old to go to Europe at this point. And if he did, it'd be like the championship.
Josh Sargent's making 1.3 in the championship right now. There's no chance, no opportunity, no chance in hell that Brian White would make that, even if he was younger.
No, he's not going to make 1.3. Sargent will make a lot more wherever he goes next.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's kind of the point, too. You go to Europe and you can build yourself into a millionaire, right? A multimillionaire eventually, if you're good. So I don't know if that's going to stop people from going to Europe if Europe calls. I'd be more worried about MLS overpricing players and not allowing them to leave at all. So that's another serious That's something you have to worry about.
Well, I mean,
if you're stuck in MLS contract.
Look at somebody like Luna. Look at somebody like Brian Gutierrez at this point. They've got contracts all the way through 2028, another 3 years. Yep. They're not going to let them go for a pittance. They're going to be like, hey, we want $8-10 million for these guys.
Right.
People around the world are going to be like, okay, that's cool.
Yep. So quick grades for the players. I'm not giving anything to the guys that subbed in last second. They didn't play long enough. But I'll start with Pochettino. I'm giving him a 3 out of 10. A, stubborn, same lineup, same setup, same style of play.
Same sometimes. I mean,
same
probably the same
patterns.
players.
Same pattern of play, too. Exact same patterns of play.
I mean, it's like the same subs come in. Now, mind you, it might vary who's coming out depending on how the game's going. But it's just like we and here's the thing. We were critical about Greg for a number of years for various reasons. Everybody had their own reasons, but for the most part, it was player management. It was the same tactics, regardless of who's going in or who starts or who does whatnot. Nothing ever changes.
Yeah.
So you have to be just as harsh on Poach in this situation too, even whether you like him or dislike him. I still question his player management skills because we've gone the entire fucking tournament with almost the exact same starting lineup, except for I think McGlynn got subbed out eventually, and Luca De La Torre and Sebastian Berhalter ended up taking his place. And then the subs come in. There's always one around the 70th minute marker, and then the rest of them all coming in the 82nd marker.
Yeah,
that's not a good game plan. And our boys are going to go into Mexico most likely gassed, most likely.
The other problem is just patterns of play. And I've said it so many times, and it's very Berhalter-esque as well. You don't think that the Guatemalan coach watched our last 3 games on tape? Shit, if he did, he knows exactly what's going down, especially if you watch the last one. Like, this is not surprising how we're going to play. He knew Adams was dropping all the way that back, so he high-pressed. So we ended the whole game booting the ball up to a guy on an island named Bombito. And you know what? You're not going to win a lot of those. You're not going to win a whole – you can't ask
a non-target striker, yeah.
I mean, he's not going to bring down a whole lot of those and distribute them. It's just not his thing.
It's just insane to think about, quite frankly.
Yeah.
I mentioned this during the game time. Again, and I'm sure Poach doesn't want this happening or anything like that. But, man, when that ball's on either the left-hand side or the right-hand side, that left or right-hand side, those 2 or 3 players are moving a lot. But then the other 7 players on the pitch are just sitting there with their thumbs up their ass.
Yep.
I mean, there has to be other movement elsewhere to pull the defense this way so somebody can overlap over here for a change of point of attack.
Right.
Something has to happen.
Yes.
Because otherwise, you're just reliant on individual performances. Luna or Tillman to do something magical out of nowhere.
Right.
Marston to get a cross into nobody, but, I mean, he's putting them in there, I guess.
And, Colin, for instance, we give a lot of shit. He takes a lot of shit. And he gives it back too, whatever. But, I mean, he's been hammering this home forever. There is too much standing around going on. And he's right on that. Maybe not right on everything, but who is?
He's been saying it for years now, yeah.
But
nobody moves, nobody passes.
No. All right. Let's grade it. Matt Freeze, I'm giving an 8 out of 10. I think it was fine, except for when he hit the ball at his feet. I mean, it was a little nervous looking, a little sketchy. But
I wasn't too scared of anything he did, quite frankly.
Well, because after the first 10 minutes, it was just boom the ball down the field.
Yeah.
It's like we were not going to play around with it.
Sometimes hoofing the ball is what you got to do.
And we did a lot of hoofing. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, I mean, he made some really key saves in there. He was called upon and answered. So, yeah, 8 out of 10 is fine with me, too.
Arson, 4. He didn't do anything today. I can't give him a 5. Or I give him a D. A D plus. I'll give him a D plus.
I mean,
we're giving grades.
I might be jaded just because we were so defensive after those 20 minutes and everything like that. But yeah, I really didn't see much outside of the occasional toe pokes out and passes forward. Yeah, 4 or 5 range, whatever. It was a meh game for me. I didn't really see anything bad, but I didn't see anything good.
Richards, 6 out of 10. He did end up being partly accountable for the goal.
Yeah. Somewhere in that 5.5, 6.5 range area, depending. You can make the argument one way or another, and we're talking about fractions of points here. So,
right.
I guess if I had to do that whole range, a 6 would be probably the most beneficial thing there.
Yeah, Ream, 5. It's probably the worst game I've seen Ream play for a while. He got beat on some plays over the shoulder, got outran. Made a couple really sketchy passes that you just don't see Ream blowing a pass like that. And just took a pass to nobody. So I'm giving him a 5. I mean, really, I should give him a 4 because that's less than the Ream we're used to. Reliable Ream.
Yeah. 5-7 would be
5-4.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go below a 5. I'm gonna take that back. Yeah, 5. We'll go there.
Okay. Left back was no, we did Arson. So right back, Freeman, 3 or 4.
I'm gonna stick with a 4 too in that sense. With the, I mean, it echoed too much of it. It just echoed what we said about Arson, quite frankly. After that first 20 minutes, we just literally had nothing moving forward.
Everybody seemed to just run out of gas all of a sudden. And then we moved to the midfield. Adams. 6.
6, yeah.
But you're really looking for Adams in a game like this to be an 8, and he was a 6 today.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
But a lot of guys.
We both said 6 at the same time, so we both had the same understanding there.
A lot of guys were off tonight. Like that the passing through the midfield was really poor. And I'm going to give Luca De La Torre a 5 for the same reason I'm giving Adams a 6. Too many lost balls.
I'm giving him a 4.5.
Okay,
now lost balls, but he just got managed. Not necessarily fouling, but he just got physically just overtaken.
Right. Berhalter, I'm going to give him a 5, maybe a 6, somewhere around there. 5.5
to 6. His set pieces are great. I can't argue with this.
The set pieces were good. The shot on goal was good from a set piece. I didn't really see him like he was getting stuck in and all that. But again, for the whole team, too many spare loose balls. And not enough. Like all the 50-50 balls were won by them.
Yeah.
And after a while, I'm gonna start noticing that. But Berhalter was at least one guy who was stuck in every time, and he had less losses, I believe. But we can check the stats on that. Again, this is saying this right after we watched the game. We haven't had a chance to study any of the stats. So this is like immediate reaction. All right. And then Tillman, I'm going to give him a 6.5, 7.
Yeah.
Right. But again, if you're playing Tillman, you want him to play at least an 8 game or a 9 game.
Well, yeah. Again, though, it was a brutal game for him. He got knocked around a bit.
Yes.
7. I mean, I'm leaning more 7.5 because again, after that first 20 minutes, and we went into our defensive shell for the most part, not on purpose, but we did. Tillman was busting his butt to get back and defend and break up plays, and it wasn't all the flashiness garbage that we usually see, with the when we're in the attack and stuff like that. But he was doing work on both sides of the field. So I'm giving 7.5.
I'm going to stick with my 7 because I guess my expectations were, you were right. They were physical with him the whole game. And then out wide, we had Luna. Obviously, got to give Luna a 9.
Yeah.
I mean,
he
scored
8,
2 goals.
Yeah.
Played really well. And then outright, we were.
I'm going to go back too. I'm going to go back. He got 2 goals in a big game. A 9 makes sense. It's not like he had anything horrible the rest of the game or anything like that. He busted his butt too. I'm going with the 9 as well. I like your argument there.
Ajiman, I'm going with a 4. Maybe a 3 at times, but I think overall 4. I think he battled hard. I don't know. I'm kind of like in between. 3.5.
This is a tough one because I can't really bag him too much because we left him on an island 90% of the game.
Right.
What was he supposed to do? I mean, I'm going to give him a 5 just because. But what else was he supposed to do?
Yeah. Somebody says Tillman is a 5 out of 10. Didn't impress. Well, if you were impressed with the second goal by Luna, you should be impressed by the fact that the guy who hit a dime from 40 yards away to his feet was Tillman. So Tillman was impactful in that way. It's not. I'm looking for 8s from Tillman, and I got a 7. We get an 8 or a 9, Tillman, we win every game.
I agree. A 9 is a really high score. I just didn't. I mean, did you see much of Luna's game that
I didn't see him lose the ball or do anything stupid or make an outrageous dumb pass, or I just didn't see that from Luna, so I can't really hit him up. But you score 2 goals, I'm going to give you bonus points for those. So a 7 performance turns into a 9 real fast. But if you want to, I'd say 8.5, 9, somewhere around there. I can live with that.
We can dig in a second, yeah.
So Aguiman, again, you're right. He was on an island. What the hell is he supposed to do? They were blasting the ball, 65, 70 yards up to him. He's supposed to bring that down by himself and shield it off, which he had a few losses. He fell over a couple times tonight when he shouldn't have fell. I don't think fall over, but he missed 2 goals.
I was just replaying the 2 opportunities that he skyrocketed.
Well, and the breakaways too, both that ended up being called offsides. I think one of them for sure did.
We had the one opportunity that he spun around and tried to take it, and the goal was wide open after being the goalkeeper.
Well, he had 2 one-on-ones that he didn't know was offsides yet, that he both missed both.
Yeah.
One of them was called offsides. I don't remember the other one. So there it is. That's it. I'm not going to rate any of the subs, not even Aronson.
Untouchable. Just happy that we won. That's all. It says you 2 are turning an attack. Newsflash. We won and are advancing. Hey, again, props for the individual performances. It's just we're looking at it going. This overall performance leaves a lot to be wanted.
Yes, it leaves a lot to be. Yeah,
desired. We're looking at our opponent coming up here. We're looking at most likely Mexico. I'm assuming.
So
don't get me wrong, Honduras could come out and take it, but. Or most likely Mexico, and if we come out and we play like we did today, even the first 20 minutes, I feel like it's just going to be a landslide.
Yeah, after the first 15 minutes of this game, I was happier than a goat in a goat patch. I was. Mm-hmm. I was nibbling grass. I was ready to go. I was extremely
16
happy.
Minutes in, we're up 2-0. I'm like, oh my God, we're going to run away with this.
I mean, there were some odd moments here and there in the back, but I felt like, wow, we're on fire going forward. Then it all just became inflated. If you want to be excited about that, go ahead. If you want to be satisfied by that, you're welcome to do that. I'm not saying you shouldn't. Hell, go home, break out the lube, and rub one out. But I can't. I am here to look at the team as we move forward, and I need to look at how we're moving forward. And I'm sorry, what Poach is doing isn't working. When the whole other team knows what we're going to do and has the perfect remedy for it, and they figured out what that was 15 minutes into the game, and then we turned off the jet fuel. Like, we disappeared. And they outshot us, outpossessed us. I mean, it was ridiculous.
And I can see the argument of saying, hey, we haven't had a lot of success recently. Let's be happy we're winning at least. I throw this back to Berhalter's Gold Cup. Years and years ago, and we were playing against Canada and was it Moore? I think it was Moore that got the. Or was it Canada? I think it was Moore. Moore got the goal against Canada like in the first 45 seconds, and then from that 45-second goal to the final whistle, we were on our heels in our defensive third nearly the entire fucking match. Technically speaking, we won, but oh my God, was that not a fun match to watch?
So, Untouchables, let me ask you this. So, you spend a good chunk of your money for a woman of the night, and she comes over, and, you have a list of things you want to get done that night with the woman of the night. And so, for the first, few hours of the night, things are going your way. You're getting all things on your list. Then, after the first couple things on your list are checked off, all of a sudden, she slips you a Mickey, and all of a sudden you're the one getting hammered in the butthole. And that's what happened tonight, buddy. I don't really think that's something you would really like much. And I do think we have to be critical and say, yes, the first 20 minutes were great. I don't really give a fuck that we won. I'm glad we won. But you know what? And if it were a bigger tournament, then yes, I guess winning ugly is fine. We shouldn't be winning ugly against Guatemala. We should be kicking Guatemala's ass. Period. End of story. I'll take an ugly win like that against Mexico in the next game if that's what happens. I'll just take it because Mexico are going to be the better team overall on paper and on the field. But I think we got to call it is what it is when it is what it is. And to pretend otherwise is fine. Like there have been a lot of people who've lucked themselves into wins or have, been really, really poor at their jobs and just happened to get through the day. Okay, celebrate it. I guess you got through the day, but you still did a pretty mediocre job. Like that guy who poured the cement for your porch. The stairs coming out of your back door are fabulous, but the rest of it is jack shit. And you want your money back. Yep. Okay, that's what happened tonight. They poured the good stairs, but once you got down to the porch, there were cracks all over it. It was a horribly done job. If you want to celebrate the horribly done porch because the stairs were great, that's fine. But we can't do that here.
So when you were talking about the lady of the night, I thought the route you were going to go with this instead was like you paid for an hour and a half. She got your rocks off twice within 16 minutes, and then after that she sat back on the couch and watched Wheel of Fortune
with a big bowl of popcorn.
Bitch, I paid for another hour and 15 minutes. Let's go, come on.
She's eating all your popcorn and all the snacks in your fucking kitchen. Yeah,
I mean you can look at it and go, man, I got my rocks off twice, I guess. But you wasted an hour and 15 minutes worth of money.
And then guess what? When you were starting to fall asleep, she duct taped your ass and she fucked you in the ass one time too and got her rocks off once. All right. So that's not good. Who knew you hired a Fuda? Yeah. Anyhow, point being, we're not going to lose any sleep over this, and nor should any of you. We did win. We are all
Sunday. We'll root for him against Mexico.
Hell yeah.
Let's go.
But we got to be honest that this was not great.
Francisco Gomez says 49% possession for U.S., 51 Guatemala.
It's just not good. I'm sorry. This is a team, Guatemala, my whole life. This is a team we have generally kicked their ass.
Yeah.
So I'm just, there were moments in the earlier years in the 90s. Of course not. But, here we are. We've been through the era where unless we're playing away at Guatemala, that's always harder. But here, we should be doing just fine.
Yeah.
So, I'm sorry, Untouchables, that you don't mind being taped up and pegged in the middle of the night. But most of us,
you and Booty, back and forth has just been hysterical. God damn it! Gotta get Booty Boy out of the chat. He's part of the. Did he trial?
Untouchables likes winning, but you do understand there's a whole night, right? And as Brett so eloquently put it, you got your rocks off twice. But after you fell asleep because she was watching a movie and eating your popcorn, even though you had more time left, she strapped you up with some duct tape and fucked you up the ass and got one in on you. She pegged your ass. So you're fine with that because you're into that. That's cool. I have no problem with that at all. I'm just saying we're going to call it out and say, hey, first two were great. It was fabulous. But you know what? There was that kind of unexpected thing that happened. Her name was Guatemala, tied me up and she got one in as well on me while I was sleeping. Not cool. But so its game was not cool, man. There were problems here that need to be addressed.
Yeah. And then she stole your watch.
Stole your watch, ate all the food out of your fridge. And you know what? In the end, it turned out she fucked you longer. She fucked you 51% of the time.
Long time, yeah.
You only fucked her 49% of the time. Even worse. And if we talk about, shots, it gets even worse stat-wise. So all that needs to be cleaned up. All of that needs to be fixed. If you said this is what we just did to Panama, I'd be like, okay, we kind of, we won the game, but it's Panama. I'm just happy we won it. It's fucking Guatemala. Okay. And don't tell me they beat Canada. I don't give a shit. Canada played with, a man down the whole game. Thank you, Schaffelberg. All right. That doesn't
Hercules
mean-
Gomez says this may be an unpopular opinion, but Patrick Agyemang does a hell of a job playing up top by himself.
He did tonight because that's all there was.
Again, yeah, I mean, there wasn't much that he could have done outside of that. I mean, basically, try to hold up the ball. Not a lot of holding up every now and then because, you know, he has center backs on him. Sometimes bad first touches were the victim. Sometimes he was pulling on the defense.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, does a hell of a job playing up top by himself, but it was against Guatemala, though, too. So I'm just saying. He's raw, but no one really expects him to be a US 9 today.
Here's the word no one again. We got to stop saying nobody, no one. No, there are people that do want him to be the 9 today. So there.
Yeah.
I just said it.
Let's see. He has a place in the pool and can easily be in the top 3 conversation. From there on, it's a hot hand.
Well, if he's in the pool, that doesn't leave a lot of room for a lot of other people to go swimming. So we'll see. All right. Haji needed 1 touch and scored. I ain't hearing that. Good point. Yeah. Okay. I think that's going to do it for the night. We do appreciate all of you that showed up. The Mexico-Honduras game is about to start here soon, so I want to go eat something, so I'm ready to go on that one. I thank you for everybody who showed up, and, you know, hey, we're not a bunch of negative Nancy's here. We are not Dark Lords. We are here to have fun, and we had fun tonight. That's all that really matters, right? I think that's what matters.
I had a lot of fun, a minute and 20 seconds behind all of you other fucks.
It was a win. We take it on to probably Mexico against Mexico next game. We will cover that live as well with a live game call, and hopefully it doesn't get too ugly. I think it could. If we play like this again, it will get ugly. If we lose balls in our own half like we did this game, it's going to get ugly. Let's hope we're clean that up. Poach figures out a way to clean that up, and maybe he figures out a different way to play, because we're going to have to play a different way against Mexico. Because if you can't dominate the ball in possession against Guatemala, you're not going to do it against Mexico. Just saying. All right. Until the next time, have a great night.
That hurt.
Blowjobs are a no for me.
It is a skill. It is a practice skill. It is a necessary skill.
The secret to a great blowjob is saliva, saliva, saliva.
It's important for us to learn from this, because I think we lose because we beat ourselves.
You need to swallow it too.
I don't understand the problem here.
The people don't understand esophagus is the main player of the game.
Try to stay away from it as much as I can.
You can start by licking the tip.
I didn't understand it, but